Hey. What's up,
Testing,
you
what's up?
guys? Hey, hey, we're back for another Ooh Ladies First
Yes.
panel. Okay, we are coming to you guys alive right now. And we really hope that you had a chance to check out our interview with sexologist Miss Michelle Hope. We had a really great conversation with her. Okay, that premiered at 6:45. But you guys can catch the playback whenever you're ready to catch the playback because it's up there for y'all to catch. Okay. Before we get into it all, y'all make sure y'all are following the Ooh Ladies First panel on Twitter and on Instagram, Ooh Ladies First, and follow us all individually at Bondy Blue, at J Lee's Corner, at Jami ThatsMe, at Necey Dixon, and support, okay? Because it is Black History Month, and that's what you're supposed to do. Jami disappeared.
I was like, whoa.
What happened?
Jami disappeared, but she'll be back. Girl, let me tell y'all something. Hold up. Device is not connected. I'm gonna wait for her devices to be connected. Okay. Okay. The devices are connected. Hello. Are we back?
Yes.
We are back. Okay, great. So, you guys, just a little quick like chit chat about the Michelle Hope interview. I really enjoy watching it back. I'm not even gonna lie. I was watching it back and I thought it was really fun. And I just, kind of wanted to see what you guys thought about it. If you caught it, if you watched it, what are your feelings?
It was everything. It was an easy conversation to have. But we also had necessary conversations as well as sexual conversations.
Right.
And I know initially I thought we were just going to be talking like mostly sexual stuff. But we had real conversations. It was a good talk.
It was a good talk. I didn't get a chance to catch the playback, but just listening because I was just taking a lot of stuff in. So I thought it was good. Went much better than what I don't know
Right?
what I was expecting, but it was pretty knowledgeable to me, and I hope that a lot of the people that got a chance to see it really got a lot out of it. You
Yes.
know,
Yeah, I
it was
think it
good.
was fun because I think sex and things that we were talking about as a topic, people don't really talk about a lot because you're like, oh,
Hmm.
I don't want to be like, but I think we should do more of that because one of the conversations was fun, joking, ha 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 ha. So it's a way to also be informative about stuff that we say no one talks about. So I
Right.
liked it.
Me too. And I think there are a lot of things in that conversation that really needed to be talked about. I mean, she talked about the fibroids and talked about the conversation about the language that we have with sex, about the voting rights and what's going on with the abortion laws. It was just a lot of things that needed to be talked about, or at least you need to be keeping your ear to the street about what is going down, okay? Because it affects us, okay? And that matters.
And
So
shout
with
out to the
that,
people that caught that on exclusive.
yes,
Right.
yes. Shout out to all of our
Facts.
members.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to the members because we sent our members the link early, so they were in
The
the
live.
interview, yeah, in the live when we
Live.
were actually talking to her on Monday, and that was just really dope. That
We
you
probably should do
guys,
that for all our interviews that we pre-record. We should always have our members on.
we
We
should.
I
are
like that
actually,
idea.
we got one
Mm-hmm.
coming up
Yeah.
next week, so that'll be an exclusive for them as well. That will
Make
be a
sure y'all
surprise
paying
that's going to
attention.
drop. So
Okay,
if you're not a
get
member, you might
get
wanna
ready. You might
Right.
want to become a member, okay? Or
Mm-hmm.
everybody,
Hit
okay?
that button.
All of us, all right? And you guys know you can support me by becoming a member on my website, bondyblueshow.com.
Boom.
Thank you very much, okay?
Come on, plug.
Now, with that being said, let's go ahead and get into some TV talk. Let's start with ladies who list. Listen, you guys, we love the show.
We
We
do.
love the show. We're so enjoying it. Um, the episode was good. Okay, a few things that took place. First of all, the conversation at the very beginning of the episode with Kira, Robin, and Q. I feel like Kira is acting like a child who now wants to act like an adult. Like it's all very posturing. Like none of it seems like genuine. I'm grown in the moment. It's like I'm gonna act like I'm grown because you sunned me the last time we talked, but you act like a child the last time they talked. I also did not like the way I felt like Q was trying to only hold Robin accountable for what happened. That annoyed me as well. But Robin and Kira decide to be cordial moving forward. And it's some nice, nasty fake shit. But ultimately, we're good with it. Y'all needed to get over it. It was an Instagram follow. It's not that deep. But what are you ladies' opinion on that first scene?
I think. Oh, go ahead, Jaylee. Come on.
When Robin was shading Kira, but she was too dumb to realize it, when she was like, I didn't know how important Instagram was. I just didn't know. So I talked to some younger folk, and they said, I was like, she's shading you because you're taking social media too serious, and got mad at one person versus the two people who did it. And even Kira saying, well, Crystal like acknowledged or how she responded was different than you kind of. I'm like, it's fucking Instagram. So it's weird that Kira still kind of wants to blame Robin while saying we can be cordial. And then even with Kiana, who wants to make it, Robin, keep your hands down. If she wants to be doing this and she's across on that side of her chair, she can do that. She has not gotten up to go bop Kira like I think she should. But I don't like that. What I love though was Robin's confessional outfit with the pearls and the gloves. And I was like, she said, fuck y'all, I'm gonna be fabulous in my confessional, because I do think she's the most popular person because she's kind of wacky, she's hot-headed, but she's also sensible. So I like Robin. Fuck Kira and Kiana.
I love this point because I also don't know when people unfollow me. I know when people follow me, but I don't get notifications when I get unfollowed. So I'm very curious to know if Kira is going through all of her followers all the time to make sure they're still following her. That's a bit much.
This is what I think happened. What I think happened is right before the show got started, Kira probably started trying to check her connections, because I kept saying from jump, Kira gave me the perception that she was the one who barely made the cast. And that's no shade. That's just you don't have the credentials that the other ladies have. So I'm sure before the show got started, she probably started going around seeing like, am I in? And that's probably when she noticed they're not following me. So that's why she was like, don't be a fan online and show up like an op, because she was just, being polite with you in the DMs. But Jaylee, you said everything I was about to say exactly. I feel like I was more upset with Kiana for trying to regulate Robin, even when it was down to the party at the end of the episode. We'll touch on that, I'm sure. But Kira took her whole shoes off in public trying to fight, but you're trying to regulate the way that Robin moves her hands. So I think Robin handled the argument just like a, real nice, nasty, as Bondy said, whenever she said, I talked to some younger people and I didn't know Instagram was that big of a deal. I was like, yes, ma'am, get her together. And Kira also don't want to be the only one in conflict. I think she's starting to notice that Kiana's gonna play fake, and she knows that eventually Crystal and Robin are gonna be cool. So if you barely got in, you're gonna go ahead and be real fake. Keep it cute.
I agree definitely with that, Necey, with her not wanting to be the only person still having an issue, because the whole reason she brought that issue up at the table originally was because Kiana was on some other stuff, and Kiana came there with an agenda to make sure everybody else was on the same thing that she was on. What I hated the most, like y'all said, Kiana was trying to regulate Robin. It was like she was already trying to paint her out as an aggressor when she was just simply having a conversation. But where was this energy when Kira was coming at Robin in that fashion? You didn't care. But now all of a sudden you want to try and sit up here and regulate that lady. Couldn't stand that. I also hate the fact that I was glad but not happy. I was glad that Robin kind of apologized to her, because it's like, okay, let's move on. I did it. If you don't want to accept it, whatever, that's on you. I apologize. But at the same time, it was the fact that Kira sat up there as though she did absolutely nothing wrong and would not offer an apology in return. That made me feel like, Robin, I wish you would not have apologized to her. But now that you see her for her works, keep her right where she at. Like, I won't want to do no business with you anyway. You don't even know how to handle situations. And then you're upset over something to me that is so minimal, something that could easily be fixed if that's what you're strongly concerned about. And we wasn't even friends to begin with for you to even feel a way about an unfollow. Like, come on. So yeah.
Yeah, she was trying to have a moment and just kept expounding upon trying to have a moment. But moving on from there, what about Crystal and Kira's conversation? They met up and Crystal was like giving you hair, you know what I'm saying? And she's talking about how I'm thinking about being in a polyamorous relationship, which I felt like it to me, it screamed I'm insecure because
I said the same
I'm
thing.
sorry,
Wendy.
I don't know what type of woman decides that she wants to think about being in a polyamorous relationship just because of the guy. Like, you either want to be, either you're interested in something like that or you're not. Wanting to do it for a man means that you're going to end up in a cult of some sort. Like, we've all seen it. We've seen it many a time when these girls get in these polyamorous relationships because the dick was amazing or the dude was all, loving all of them, love bombing them, and they was all into him. They get into this relationship where there are other women, and then all of a sudden it's this cult-like situation. So what are you ladies' opinion on Kira and Crystal's conversation about the poly of it all?
I said the exact same thing. It was very much giving my 4-year relationship didn't work out. Now I'm however many years old. I think I'm okay with settling or changing my lifestyle so I can have a piece of a man who seems great. And in my review, I said that's no shade to people who are in polygamous relationships. I just feel like it takes a specific type of person to be in that. Someone who's extremely confident, self-aware, and they're okay with doing that. Crystal doesn't give that. We've seen Crystal move like a damn snake slithering throughout this entire season. And that to me does not exude confidence. Everything that she's been doing by trying to make Robin become the antagonist to me screams insecure. So I don't think that this is really what you want. I think you just get to the point of like, should I settle?
I feel like when she said because he suggested I try out his lifestyle, to me that means you have no interest in it and you're really doing it for him. I feel like if people want to be poly, usually you do because that's what you like. You want to try it and you're interested in that. You go and you deep dive to see what it is, how it goes, the rules. But I feel like even her asking Kira, would you be into that? Means you wouldn't be. And you're looking for someone to tell you, oh, it's okay. Go ahead and fuck that man who's dating whose girlfriend has a husband and the husband hangs out with her boyfriend and now you're gonna be the other girlfriend. And I was like, it seemed too much. That's not what you into. And so it also shows that she just wants people to tell her what to do. Because if he can say, okay, we're gonna do this because you dated him in fucking middle school. First of all, you can't date in middle school, okay? You can't go nowhere, you can't do shit, you ain't got no money. You like that boy, y'all was kissing and hugging and dry humping or whatever, and that was it. And even me, reconnect with him over the years. How did you not know that was his lifestyle? And so now what makes you feel like I should try it? Why? I don't know. I don't want to date anybody who has a girlfriend with a husband and then you want to add me to the mix too? No, I'm not gonna be extra read all about it. So she just needs to get herself together, sit down some damn where and go pay her daddy mortgage. We ain't got no mortgage, pay her own mortgage.
I definitely agree with that, Jay Lee, as far as her going to Kira to ask her to be a part of this. And that right there alone lets you know that you're not even comfortable with it. So why would you even come to me and ask me such a question like that? It was definitely awkward considering the fact that y'all wasn't even cool. You just unfollowed her. And now that Robin's not talking to you, you trying to smooth your way in. Like, why you ain't go ask Kiana or somebody else? Like, what made you go and ask Kira and you want Kira to be a part of this? And Kira don't even know you enough like that. So I feel like that was a bit of Kira's apprehension. Like, not so much as like, or in addition to like, yeah, that's not what I'm into. I'm following God, all this other stuff. That's not something I want in my life. But also, girl, I thought I was just coming here for drinks. I'm just starting to get to know you. Like, how dare you sit up here and ask me to join in on some mess like that because you feel like we're connected because we're both outside of a relationship. Like, we just got out of a relationship. So you think I would want to do that too? So that was just a very, very awkward. I feel like there was also a motive. Like, I don't know if I just don't trust Crystal. Like, I don't know if you probably wanted to get her hooked into this poly lifestyle and then at some point probably use it against her at a later time. Like, it's something that's off about that. And it was definitely giving desperate. All the ideas and things that I thought was going to work out for me, it didn't. So maybe this will. Let me just try whatever. It's definitely giving desperate, and I hate to see it.
Yikes.
Desperation.
Listen. Ooh, another thing. So Kiana, everybody's talking about how Kiana said she was quitting the show because she doesn't like the way she's being portrayed. And then this episode, not only did we get to see her and all of her many female agents that she's in charge of, because she's in charge of the girls over there. We also got to see her going to a fertility specialist about having a baby with her husband after they've been trying for a while. So I'm like, what exactly are you talking about? Because we've seen you work, we've seen you be wife, now we're seeing you trying to be mother. They're showing to me a very multifaceted view of all of you guys. The only person I feel like we haven't seen more of is Robin. We haven't seen Robin with any of her family. We've only seen Robin doing business and with the girls. And she shares a lot, but we don't see her with her kids or anything. Whereas we've seen, everybody else's family, basically. So I'm just, except for Kira. But because she's single, she ain't got no kids or nothing like that. Just saying. But yeah, so I'm wondering what Kiana is even really talking about, you guys. But her IVF situation definitely, hit home. And was a good conversation to be had. And it's sad that she's not going to be back on the show, because that would have been another interesting story to follow, for a woman in her position. So what do you guys think?
I like that part of Kiana kind of opening up, and I'm with you on like, what were you expecting? Like, it's only giving one or two things for me. Either it's something to come that she knows we're going to see and we're not going to like her, or it's the fact that Robin is becoming, even though like when you see the photo, it kind of looks like Kiana is in the middle, so she's supposed to be in charge of the girls as in the show, but people are taking more of a liking to Robin than they are to her. So I feel like that could be an issue for her. I did like her being vulnerable. What I love the most about her situation of her being vulnerable in IVF and everything was the fact that they showed a Black woman doctor that works with women like this. I like when they do that, so other individuals that are trying to go through the same process as her and her husband, they're able to find these people, okay, in the area, go and consult or whatever. So I really like that. So for her to feel like as a businesswoman, it's not adding value to my business and this and that, but then you also pride yourself on being a woman that's about women empowerment and all this other stuff, and you just made an impact by showing your story that so many other millions or however many of women can actually relate to. But because you're not shown in whatever light you feel that you're supposed to be shown in on a reality show, that you likely already knew what you was getting yourself into, you decide to withdraw that. When a lot of people now that want to connect with you, we can't even follow the story anymore, because you know what I'm saying, you just withdrew that. So I mean, girl, we'll see. I saw her on her YouTube talking about how she won't be silenced or something. It looks like she took down the videos where, she was doing like the own after shows or something like that, the after party things or something. So it looks like she took that down. And when she was doing her live or something, she said that she didn't want to mention the name or something like that. I guess she's been talking to her attorneys or something. Like, I think she said she didn't want to mention either OWN or Ladies Who List. I think it was Ladies Who List, because I think she talked about OWN, but it was some awkward stuff. I guess she's getting attorneys and stuff involved. But I also, when I saw her with these girls, it made me wonder. I mean, maybe she's trying to withdraw because she could see that she probably could go and get a selling Atlanta, like selling Tampa, and then that way she really could be the front runner of what she.
That's what it was given.
She can't, because Robin is selling Atlanta. That's her name and stuff. Like, remember she was talking about selling Atlanta?
She did, yeah.
So I think like she might have that on lock already. I'm not sure, but I have noticed that's her name, on YouTube.
Oh, I get what you're saying.
And I think that might be like a name she uses for her business or the business she was trying to create in Atlanta. But we'll find out. We'll get our ears.
Yeah, we will
get some clarity about that.
Yeah, I agree. It's given that she's trying to get ahead of something. And I'm curious to know, you said what? Oh, Portia. Yes, Portia. That's what I was thinking. Given that she's trying to get ahead of something, and I am curious to know what light she thought she was going to be portrayed in, because I don't feel like she's been shown in a bad light at all. I mean, it's taken TV reviewers like us to, really be like, I don't like the way she's moving. And of course, people on Twitter and stuff, but she's not the most hated. She's not the most liked. She's very much floating, giving fashion. Okay. I enjoy her fashions more than I dislike her, I'm kind of mad, not really mad attitude. So I'm curious to know.
I had to get comfortable. Y'all know. I don't like Kiana's storyline because I feel like you're giving us me and my loving husband having trouble getting pregnant, and you have us feeling for you, but then on your lives, you're like, I don't want to be on the show. So it's like, do you really want to tell your story, or do you want people to like you? I think her thing is she feel like they don't like me enough. I'm not getting enough attention, so I want to come back for season 2. And it may be also because whatever else happened later in the season will have her in a bad light, and she don't want to answer for it. But I was interested in her journey and seeing that scene made like, okay, she's not that bad of a person. But I'm like, but you probably are, because you leaving for no reason. Even though I know she was saying before, like, I got to protect my peace, which I get. But I'm like, what part that you play in your peace being disturbed that you're not saying? Because the way you come up on the show, you definitely not innocent, because you always dibbling, dabbling other people's shit. So don't try to blame the show. Don't try to blame negativity with the show and not say, and I also did this. And because I maybe had issues with so-and-so, these things happen. But it's like, no, I feel like she's blaming other stuff after the show was airing. And in the show, she just wants to be liked, and we don't like her. And so she don't want to come back. So I feel like I don't even want to follow her story on the show because we won't see it in season 2. So I don't care what happens because I won't see the rest of it. So, yeah.
Well, with that being said, the last thing that happened on Ladies Who List Atlanta was they all met up at Q's event that she threw to, celebrate the anniversary of her business opening. And Crystal and Robin booty bump each other. And Q doesn't want them to talk to each other. You know what I'm saying? She doesn't want them to get into it. And so she's like, I don't want you to talk to her. Robin is like, I'm going to talk to her. You know what I'm saying? And I was just kind of like, yeah, because you're not about to fucking tell me if I can talk to somebody or not. I'm grown. Get off me. Okay. I understand her not wanting a scene at her event, but this is the part that I feel like Kiana probably had the issue with. You're trying to show your business and what you have going on in that way, but there has to be drama in this scene. And you may not want that drama at this event for you, but you want the cameras there to catch the event because it is a great thing that that you have going on. Everybody's beautiful. It's a celebration. You've had your business for a year. That's all great. But then here come the cameras in the drama. But I also feel like this is what you signed up for. You know what I'm saying? So a part of me is watching her do that in the scene, knowing that she feels like that on the back end. Like that's what you were doing in the scene, and you were doing too much to me with the trying to control what they were doing in the scene. But either way, Robin and Crystal went off to the side and started to have a conversation, which will pick up next week. Well, actually this week, this weekend, tomorrow. It will pick up tomorrow. But y'all, I felt like, what was that comment that Crystal made about you got me chasing you like you giving me dick? I was like, wait a minute. How do we get what? It just felt like we moved too fast, too quick. I don't know what's going on. But Crystal is weird to me. Like she has this I don't care snobbiness and then this intensity. Like, we can see you, right? Like, for instance, the scene that she was in with Kira and Kiana, what that was last episode when they were all sitting down talking about how Tiffany felt like Crystal was fucked up for the way she handled Robin. Remember? And she was just kind of like sitting there and you could see her staring into the atmosphere as she's like getting upset, thinking about Tiffany doesn't know us. That's my best friend. She doesn't know her. And yeah, I don't like that. Like you can see the crazy happening. And I was just like, does she know we can see her as the crazy's happening? So then when you go and try to steal Kira And now, you know, you don't like Tiffany. Like, it just, I don't know. I just kind of feel like you can see her crazy, y'all. And she doesn't know we can see it.
What was weird for me was with Kiana saying, I don't want any drama. Then why invite people that you know have issues? I don't understand when people invite people who you know have issues, who you know haven't talked to each other since the issue started, and you think they're going to both be here and something might not pop off. Don't be dumb. And I like that Robin said, no, I'm going to talk to her today because we're both here. So we're going to have that conversation. And when they were talking and Crystal said, well, you don't seem enthused to see me. And she was like, well, it's been 21 days. If you really cared, you would have found me 21 days ago. And so well, you act like you give me dick. I'm like, no, she's acting like, don't come to me like I should be happy you're talking to me now when you ain't said shit to me for 21 days. And I didn't realize it had been, like 3 weeks since it happened. But Crystal really wants Robin for some reason to like admit she's wrong. I feel like Crystal thinks Robin gonna come and you know what, I'm so sorry. I was overreacting. I was triggered. You were right. She wants to be told you were right. I should have been talking to you. I should be so happy that you're here. And Robin was like, what do you want to talk about? What are you doing? What's going on? And I like Robin's nonchalant, we can talk, but I'm not about to kiss your ass. And when she said, oh, well, you blocked me. She's like, I didn't block your phone number, which I'm assuming she meant she was blocked on social media. But I'm like, if you block me on social media and we're friends, she's my best friend. Why would you not call your best friend? Like, that is like,
because they ain't best friends. That's why every time she get ready to have a conversation, she has to start with the premise of, she's one of my best friends, And I think, like Bondy said, we could see the crazy. She always has to start out with saying she's one of my best friends to justify why she does fucked up stuff to her. Like, we have that friendship, so you can't tell me I'm wrong for it. This is why I treat her the way I do. That's why all her conversations started out with, she's one of my best friends.
Stupid Crystal.
I was trying to make a note of a good question as Necey was talking when you said something about them not being best friends. I was like, oh, that's a great one. Okay.
I added that. Yeah, I had that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. We see each other. Okay. Perfect.
Yeah, we did. I was there. Yeah.
So Kiana, yes, I'm glad Bondy put that comment up because that's exactly what I was thinking about. Kiana saying she doesn't want any drama at the event, but you've gone to more than one event and caused the issue. Okay, you started at the whole sit down link up, and some people felt like, well, that was just a dinner. Okay, well then what about the actual opening of Tiffany's location? And she over there bringing in, who was it, Kira? Yeah, she brought in Kira for them to have a conversation that could have went left or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Then she walked into a whole nother office like it's her office just to have this sit down conversation. So you don't get to tell. See, Kiana is it's giving self-centered a lot for me. And a person that's self-centered definitely thinks things are always supposed to be about them, which for me makes me believe that's one of the reasons why she is quitting, because she's not coming off how she expects to come off to people because she's so self-centered. And Robin is the person that's getting the most praise than she is. Crystal, I don't understand that. I want to see them kind of end the friendship on tomorrow. I want them to come to a conclusion. I'm sorry. Yeah, tomorrow. I want to see them come to a conclusion that this ain't it and we're not going to be friends and we good. Okay, let's go ahead and move on from here. Yeah, that's just really all I got for them two. I don't see them working out as friends. I don't think Robin can give her what she's looking for in a friend and vice versa.
Yeah, because I mean, obviously she, it sounds like she might have been looking for some dick to be involved. Girl, we just gonna go ahead and move on from there. Okay, you guys, let's go ahead and get into Ready to Fuck. Okay, I did this real quick and real fast, y'all. Okay, don't judge me. It's a little quick.
It's cute.
Thank you. I was trying to do something real quick to add them 2 new people because, we had to showcase the 2 new people that was added because that was one of the main things. Okay, you guys know that Keena and Fernando, yes, have gone home. And so this episode, Child, listen, it was a lot of stuff going on. You have Laverne going on a date with the new girl, Carmen, and you had Ace going on a date with the new guy, Cornelius. What did you guys think of the new singles that they added? I don't like Carmen, and Cornelius is giving I don't want to commit.
I don't like neither one of them. Let me tell you
Yeah,
why.
Cornelius.
Cornelius, yeah. I couldn't stand that he tried to make it seem like Tiffany was being negative just because she made it clear what her intentions were. Like, if you ain't trying to be married, just say that. And that's perfectly fine. I mean, you just not what she looking for. And he really made it seem like she was banging it on the thing. And I'm like, boy, okay. The other thing I peeped about him was he said $1 million is not a lot of money once you have it. So I want to know, like, have you made $1 million in real estate? Are you a millionaire? I don't know. Either way it goes, I ain't really feeling him like that. And the other girl, Carmen, for some reason, her vibe to me, I compared it to like the nappy head. Let me rewind. Let me not say that. I compared it to the types of girls who I went to school with, and they leave out will be fried, but they would have the inches, but they thought that they were better than other black girls because they might have had a little bit of coin. That's what Carmen was giving me. Like, she didn't really seem personable or nice. Like, she was cute on the day with Laverne, but whenever she was talking about Tori, talking about she didn't like his locks and she paid him dust. Then she was talking about how she wanted Clifton to feel her real hair and the blue contacts. Like, just very not personable. So we'll see.
Yeah, I feel you on that. In terms of your question about Laverne being a millionaire versus making $1 million, the fact that he said it's not a
It's
lot of money.
Cornelius. It's
I'm
Cornelius.
sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, Cornelius, not Laverne. But the fact that he said it's not a lot of money once you have it or something like that, that just makes me believe that he only made $1 million. Because I would think that a millionaire would know how to at least maintain that. So I don't think he's a millionaire. I just think he, was $1 million, has $1 million or whatever. But I feel you on that because I didn't like how he came off with Tiffany either, as if her standard should not have been her standard because she's so focused and sold on what it is that she wants. I just feel like that's unfair when it sounds like you, sir, sound like you're sold in what it is that you want, which is a life partner. You don't really care if you get the commitment or not. So you focused on where you are. So why is it not okay for her to be in that same space as well? I don't like that. I did like the sit down date that he had with Ace though. I thought that was cool. It seemed like they connected on like mental issues and all that other stuff. But we'll see about him because he definitely had some little flags that was poking out as far as commitment is concerned. Carmen definitely disappointed me. I did not understand what Laverne really saw ultimately in her. For him to go to the guy's table and say, oh, what he said, I think this is it, or something like that. And if you told me he had to tell him to slow his roll, like what was she giving off to you? Because it did seem like she gave off a whole lot to the other people, or at least the other guys she met, as well as some of us in the audience. So
I don't know.
and she really disappointed me with that with that hair talk and comparing it to the other ladies that got weave.
Yeah.
Who real hair may be longer than yours. And not you talking about real hair, but wearing fake eyes with your contacts. Like
girl, that was the blue contacts, girl.
And blue contact, not even brown or hazel or green.
Right.
She was giving a death stare too. Like, look into these eyes.
Yeah, she was definitely not giving me the vibe that I need for a black show. I'm gonna just say it like that. But I wanted to ask y'all how y'all felt about Ace, because I actually really liked Ace. Ace was the one that walked away from. Okay, so y'all remember when they had the group meeting with Carmen? It was Carmen, Clifton, and Tori, and it was Joy and Tiffany, I believe, right? Was it Joy and Tiffany, or was it Joy and I can't remember. All them people on that damn date. But
I don't think Tiffany was there.
No,
it was just Joy,
Tori, Joy, Ace, and Carmen. That's who it was.
Yep. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, at one point, it kind of seemed like they coupled off. Tori's talking to Joy, and Clifton is talking to Carmen. So Ace goes over to the bar and gets a drink, and she's sitting on her phone. And because Clifton obviously wasn't feeling Carmen like that, talking about hold her hair, he went over to check on Ace. And honestly, I love the fact that she did that because I feel like that was a way for her to take the attention without being thirsty for the attention. Because I feel like, a lot of times women get upset, they get an attitude, or whatever when the men are obviously like interested in other women, during a date. So I ain't gonna lie, I thought it was some like player shit that she did. She was like, all right, I'm gonna let y'all have it. I'm gonna go and get me a drink. Sat at the bar for 2 minutes looking at her phone, and here come this nigga over here. Yeah, you all right over here? I was like, yeah.
I didn't even think about it like that. I didn't even catch that. But I love that Clifton took the time to check on her because Tori didn't care. So I definitely loved him being considerate, stepping away from what he had going on to go and check on her. I thought that was really nice to him. Really
Tori's
sweet.
kidney comment was problematic to me as well.
Very much so.
My goodness.
Very.
Yes.
My kidney shifted. That's what we talking about. Why are you trying to hurt my vagina? Oh my God.
Trying to make you like your kidneys. What?
I want all my organs in the same place you found them, sir.
You don't even know her. Oh, yeah, no, that was off-putting. But she participated very, very well. She did a good job participating in that conversation. But when it came to Clifton and Ace, I thought it was nice of Clifton to check on her, but when I really thought about it, he wasn't interested in looking at Carmen's blue eyes anyway. So he was like, it's awkward what you leave for. I think Ace made it a friend vibe, and he was worried that if it was just he and Carmen talking, that she would think it was something else. So that's why he left, like, hey, don't leave me. And then with Ace, what I like her a lot, but what I didn't like was whenever Clifton came over, I feel like she friend zoned herself when she was like, no, I'm here to support connections. I'm here to support y'all. And, I saw a connection. And I'm like, but girl, how you know Clifton don't want you? How do you know he wouldn't, want to get to know you more? And I feel like she was kind of friend zoning herself with that.
I don't think so.
True.
I think it was her playing coy, honestly. I think her not being thirsty for their attention, but when they have her attention, she's like all enthralled and very feminine. I feel like Ace is the type of woman that Portia fashions herself after, with that soft femininity that they have. And, when a man is talking to them, they're like, yes, like they're just all enthralled, even at the end, because, they had to send a woman home. So Wiley goes on a date with Ace because he felt like all he heard from her was yoga. But the other guys had different opportunities to talk to her. So they felt differently about her. So he went on a date with her trying to see what they had saw. And I think by the time they got to the end of the date, he definitely saw what the other men saw when they were talking about her, when they all sat down to talk, because she was really like looking into his eyes and they were touching, and like it was all of this like intimacy that she was providing in that moment with him that I don't think he was expecting. So by the time they get to the end of the date, he like, yeah, you staying, you're not going nowhere. You gonna be here, okay? And Tiffany gets sent home. And you guys, I'm sorry, but I wanted Tiffany to go home. When Tiffany acted an ass with Paul, that first, like, to me, she acted an ass. I understand you don't like the questions, but her attitude was so dismissive to me that it felt like she was coming off like a bitch. And then she did that several times. And then we saw how she reacted when Paul sent her home. Oh, he's just jealous that I don't have a connection with him. Girl, that's not how any of this works. Like, there was a group of people that decided that you were not a vibe and decided to send you home. It was not him by himself deciding that, girl. I don't know. But she was weird to me.
She is weird. I think that's why she went home, because she was standoffish with everybody. But it's like, you can't be standoffish with everybody when you haven't connected with nobody, because then no one wants to keep you. And even though I don't like Paul, I do not like Paul, I still feel like him saying, well, I have to ask you questions to get to know you. And if you don't answer the questions, then, how will we even connect? And even when they was having the end, in her home conversation, and she could get the questions, why can't we just have a conversation? I'm like, if someone asks you a question, your response starts the conversation. If you never respond, you can't start a conversation. So I felt like she was just, I don't know if she thought she didn't have to try and they would still like her or what. But I feel like she did herself a disservice because she was kind of mean and rude. She never
It's
really was
because
nice to anybody.
she was
Except for
leading
Wiley. Wiley was the only one she seemed to be nice to.
the
Because of
only
what daddy
one.
is.
Well, she didn't know Ski Clan. She didn't know who his daddy was, is
Oh,
what she
okay.
said.
So you know.
That's what she said.
I wonder if it's gonna end up being these three, Ace, Sabrina, and Dakia. I don't know because a lot of the men seem to not like how Sabrina wasn't answering or calling them back. I believe Wiley and and Laverne said that they both experienced that with Sabrina where she wasn't calling them back after they'd had conversations. Maybe y'all have whack ass conversation. Laverne, you a little extra. You know what I'm saying? You a little extra and you come off a little weird. You fine, but I feel like, some women may not want to deal with all of that energy that you be giving. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But
With
yeah,
Tiffany, with I was disappointed in Tiffany the second round. She had to sit down with Paul, not so much as the first round, because I felt like he asked her a question: is she into spoken word? When she told him no, he proceeded to ask her about spoken word. And I just felt like if she told you she's not into it, chances are she doesn't know a lot about it, right? That's like somebody asking me about football for real, and I don't know a lot about it, but you proceed to ask me what position would I play. But I just told you I don't know. So I felt like he was doing too much in that sense. So I didn't really mind how she pushed back with him, especially the way that he came at Ace about her marriage and just automatically told her out the gate that she didn't give it a try. It's like, who do you think you are, sir? But the second time when they sat down, Tiffany was so disrespectful. I was so glad that she was going home. He's trying to talk to her. She's like, Paul, you keep asking me questions. And I'm like, that's the only way you guys are going to talk. Only for you to follow up with conversation by asking him questions. Like, that's not making any sense. Send Miss Girl home. And she had the audacity to ask who going home. You with your mismatch attire. Let's go.
Girl,
It was
the
terrible.
outfit
That
was
tennis
a
skirt.
the
no.
skirt.
She had on a
Yes,
full tennis skirt.
the tennis skirt
Girl,
was
what
a
was happening?
no with the colorful bobble earrings, with the sweater, with the color and the wedge with the rainbow. No, ma'am. She was looking like United Colors. It was a mess. But I agree with you 100%, Jamie. That's exactly what I was gonna say. From the beginning, I was annoyed with Paul because I'm like, you hella annoying. It was very much giving
Mm-hmm.
Corey from last season where a
Yeah.
lot of his questions were scripted and he got mad that it just didn't land the way he thought it would. And then in part two, whenever she was being very dismissive, she was even cursing at him, but would smile it off and laugh it off. Something about Tiffany, I said she was leading with Southern hospitality and a big booty. She kept telling everybody about how country she was. She was from a little small town, and I like to cook, I like to do this. But it wasn't enough to, make your mark, just like to see her from last season. So I was glad to see her be on her way.
Just be a real person instead of trying to be some caricature of a woman that you think men like. And that's what it
Right.
really turns out to be to me. But let's go ahead and move on from Ready to Love. And let's go ahead, child, and get into Married at First Sight. Married at First Sight, y'all, was a mess, girl. Hold up, because I have notes. Because we have to talk about these couples. First of all, what are couples at? Let's go ahead and start off with Lindsay and Mark. Okay, so y'all, I was a little confused about this situation because it seems as if Mark has a lot of weird shit going on back at home. First of all, his landlady slash mother figure is blowing his phone up while he's on his honeymoon. It's only like 3 days. So why are you blowing this man's phone up? And Lindsay says that she called and basically said that she was changing his leasing agreement because they were about to come into his apartment with 5 fucking cats and he already got 2 or 3 or whatever. And listen, I get that, but why are we discussing this over a 3-week period? I mean, a 3-day period. Can we talk about this when I get back home? You knew I was leaving. Why are you waiting until I'm gone to want to ask me about this stuff? It absolutely made me feel like that mother figure may want to fuck you, Mark. But Lindsay offering her place. I mean, honestly, that's what she was supposed to do. Y'all are married. This is what everybody signed up for. Y'all eventually are going to be moving in together anyway. So I kind of felt like that was fine, but he didn't seem to be comfortable with the way she was offering her assistance to him. And it made me feel like he's being fake with her, and I don't like that. And I see next week we're, gonna have that conversation where she says, I feel like I'm getting two versions of you, because in her face, it's like, yeah, I'm loving all of this. This is great. And then behind her back, you're like, she's doing way too fucking much. It's like you have to be honest with her so that she is not giving so much of herself to a person that isn't really feeling her like that. And I know that Lindsay is a Karen and annoying, but whenever her and Mark are together in scenes, for some reason, I'm laughing the whole time. I don't know why, but they're enjoyable to watch together. They look like they're having fun. So I want them to work out. What do you guys think?
I think it's more to the story when it comes to this landlord. So Lindsay was under the perception or impression that the bed bugs. Lindsay was under the impression that the landlord was just kicking him out because she was jealous. But I think Mark, his place is probably nasty and unkept. And the landlord probably was like, okay, I just got word that you, hey Scotty, I just got word that you got a wife that got 2 cats her damn self. So what you're not going to do is bring 5 cats into the place I own and basically run this place amok. And I think that's what she was doing. As far as Mark, Bondy, I think you have a point. I think he needs to be honest with her about how he feels 100%. It was real interesting to see them wake up cuddling after she basically just ripped his edges off on national TV, telling everybody how he shit with the door open. So I'm like, how did y'all go from A to B? I don't understand.
He's still wrong for that, bro. I'm sorry.
He is. I was still laughing about that this week. That, but I think he probably backpedaled and wasn't, 100% honest in what the initial conversation was supposed to be about in order to not make her upset. So he's still not being honest, but yeah, I think it's the bed bugs. I don't think it's anything going on with that landlord lady.
I need him to be honest on all fronts. All fronts. Like y'all saying, he's not being honest about the landlord situation. Then he not being completely about how he really feel about things when it comes to Miss Lindsay. I do want them to work out though. I like Lindsay. Lindsay can be off the chain at times, but I do think that she means very well for the most part. So I really do like Lindsay. I like Mark for the most part. And I feel like a lot of relationships are like that, where you have the mellow person and then you got the other person that may do a lot. I feel like that's how I am in my relationship. I'm probably the one that do a whole lot. Right. And he just be like this the whole time. But with Lindsay and Mark, my thing was this: after you heard bed bugs, I'm sorry. I understand we done got this marriage thing, but you're not gonna move that my mother with no bed bugs. Like, first of all, I need to examine the house to see if I even want you to come to mine. That's one. And then number 2, it ain't no pick out what you need. It's leave that shit there. We'll get some new stuff, because you're not gonna bring, and ain't no telling what kind of, if you got bed bugs, then what the hell do the cats have? Do they have ticks? Like, what the cats got? Because I done got 3. You're not gonna come over here and kill my cats. So she needs to figure that part out. And I know she wants to be there. I know she do. But it's not clicking, Steven. And she got to make it make sense. And it's crazy because he's so used to being there for other people. And now he has somebody that's really showing up for him. And I think that's great. That's what you want in a mate. But I feel like there's a way for her to roll that out instead of moving too fast. I'm just not going to move nobody in with no bed bug. I'm just not going to. And then it's no shade to nobody white. I'm sorry, but y'all got to deal with lice too on top of bed bug. You can have it. Keep it over there. Hold on to it, because I'm not even trying to be funny, but I'm not going to deal with all that. That's just what I have to say.
He nasty. Lice, bed bugs, evictions. No. And I feel like Lean, like, I'm a mama bear and I don't like what's happening. He dirty. He's a dirty little man who got too many cats, who probably got feces. Who knows what's going on? First of all, 2 people and 5 cats in an apartment don't even, that's a hoarder's mess. It's nasty. So I don't understand why they don't realize somebody need to get rid of the cats. And since his cats probably got lice and bed bugs, just send them somewhere else. I'm like, don't you bring that nasty ass cat in this new ass apartment? And I'm like, what can he want to bring if the place has bed bugs? All it takes is one bed bug to go from one place to the other and a whole infected. No, which means she probably got bed bugs too, and she don't care. Because who tells someone, bring your bed butted shit to my house, we gonna live somewhere else. And we gonna be over here with the cats that got the bed bugs in life. We gonna dirty up this place. So this place gonna be dirty, my place gonna be dirty, and we the two dirty white folks on Married at First Sight.
You know, she wasn't even thinking. I watched the after show. And when she was in the after show, she was like, I probably should have thought about it at the time because I really didn't even know him whenever I asked him to move in. And it's very telling that she's saying that in the after show because I was thinking the same damn thing. Like, hold on, you trying to step up and be wife of the year and care for him because he cares for everybody else. But what you don't know is this man is probably nasty.
Polar tink tink.
I believe it because I don't know when his dad passed away, but I just wonder about the conditions of his mom because I don't know how old he was when his dad passed, but then he said his mom didn't want to clean up, didn't want to wash her tail, didn't want to do this or do that. So I'm wondering if he adopted some of those ways or something. You know what I'm saying? As he quote unquote took care of her and stuff. So that just kind of came in my mind, just wondering where this nastiness came from.
That's disgusting. And that makes me think about the shitting with the door open and all of that. Like, a lot of that is a lack of care. Like, he's not doing that because he feels comfortable. He's doing that because he doesn't care, because he's trifling. Like, I don't know if y'all have heard of trifling people, but trifling people are trifling. They don't clean up. They don't care about not shitting in front of you. They leave, shit on the back of the toilet seat. They pee on the floor, all kind of shit that you got to deal with. They leave the toothpaste top off. It's just nasty. It's giving a lot of red flags with big eyes and little chipmunk teeth. But moving on, y'all. Steve and Noy, did anything happen with them? I don't think so. Moving on.
Nothing at all.
Okay, whereas Kat and Elijah, they are boring as fuck, y'all. They had one scene and I didn't even watch it. So moving on, Elijah Wan and Katina, they go horseback riding, and Katina is not liking it at all. Ola feels like she's being dramatic. He's not listening to her. She's scared. He says that he's not going to stop living his life because his wife is uncomfortable, which I feel like was a broad statement to make in a moment like this. And honestly, I feel like Katina was being too uptight. Like, bitch, you all right. I know the horse is a little scary, but y'all ain't going that fast. You all right. But ultimately, his impatience with her makes me feel a way because she's so patient with him. And I feel like I don't see him reciprocating that. And that's going to be indicative of future issues in a relationship, if you ask me.
I agree. And I'm glad she is not a person that's just letting him like get by. It seems like she's starting to be vocal about that stuff. I do think they need to meet each other in the middle because I'm with you on that. Like, girl, I was like, girl, shut all that. Like, it's you, girl, you act like the damn horse that sprinted across the field and that's not what was happening. Then you got him over here. It's interesting to hear how he talks to her because honestly, it sounds like he's talking to a child, like he's coaching a child. Just very interesting. I do think that he needs to be like mindful and considerate sometimes because you don't know her. And even though it sounds like it's coming off as though it's whining to you, it definitely could be a concern of hers. But, I just think they need to meet each other in the middle. I don't think this is something that's going to get fixed immediately because he wants an adventurous wife and that's just not her. So they're going to have some issues ongoing, but that's really all that I got. She was doing a lot and he was too.
How's she a party girl, but she not adventurous? Like, I don't know, this mismatch.
Yeah, low key, I think she likes playing into him being an alpha, and I think that's why she was being over dramatic with the horse. Whenever he started saying, "You're not the first person to ride a horse, you ain't gonna be the last," I died laughing because I was like, "You exactly right," because she doing the most. But I think she likes that a lot of the time, more than what she says. Ultimately, I think that she's going to end up molding him. You know how everybody was saying that he would mold her? I think she's going to mold him because we didn't really see them come to a solution when they were talking. But once he met with the couples, he was like, I need to chill. So I'm like, okay, good. As long as he's aware that he needs to respect her boundaries sometimes. If you like it, I love it.
I feel like I like when she told him, like, you can push me, but also listen to me when I'm saying like, you know, I'm over it or whatever. And it's like I get him saying I want to get her out her comfort zone. I understand that, but I'm like, but you fucking with her. Like you know you aggravating her, and you want to see how far can I push her before she go off on me. And I'm like, that isn't how you positively push your wife out her comfort zone. You should not be trying to aggravate her to her end. So that's what I do not like about how he do things. But I do, well, I guess it's fine that he recognized that. But I want to see if he actually implement that and how he deals with her. Because saying to the other couple, "Oh yeah, I get what I do. I need to stop it." But will you? Because you've been knowing you've been doing this and you keep doing it. So will you really change, or that did you trying to act like the good guy? So but he in that jury, so I'm gonna say leave that man be.
Okay, and with that being said, let's move on to the next annoying ass couple, Jasmina and Michael. Okay, so this episode, I'm gonna just tell y'all, I don't like Jasmina. I'm like, she just
I don't
aggy as
either.
fuck to me.
She annoying, bro.
I don't.
Like, okay, so first of all, you know, they had their little scene alone when they were in the water, and I felt like she's tolerating him while he's making an actual effort to try to talk to her and get to know her. He's talking about his childhood, about being bullied. I almost felt like she was low-key laughing at him when he was talking about being bullied. I don't know if it was just me that noticed that she was like, you know, like kind of laughing a little bit when he was talking about being pummeled by a bully. Well, that would have made me be like, oh, you know, and she just sitting up there like, like, shit not funny, bitch.
She lacks emotion for sure.
Yes, lacks of emotional connection all
There we
day
go.
long, and it's tiring to like watch because I feel like Michael thinks he's a difficult one, and I really want to see Michael screaming and howling at her so that we can balance this out a little bit. Because right now it seems like you're detaching and being a bitch to him, and he's just constantly trying to be patient and fix what he's doing wrong, even though, you know, he said you cut him off. I don't think you cut him off, but I still feel like he's not telling you the right thing that's wrong. Something's wrong, but he's not communicating it the right way. It wasn't that you cut him off. It was that you said that you needed a connection as if you did not have one with him. And he feels like he can't say that because it's only been 3 days, but that was some cold shit to say in that moment. And I feel like he just don't know how to express that to her. So I'm kind of annoyed with them, but y'all give me y'all opinions.
It's giving me another version of Chris and Alyssa just a little bit, except for Jasmina is actually in the process.
Yep.
That's what it's just like with him being like, I don't want to say afraid, but him just not being fully open about how he feels and the lack of emotion that she tends to show towards him, or like caring, like affection type. I kind of see that with Alyssa just a little bit, but more in a harsher way. I hate it. I hate how it seems like every little thing, I ain't gonna say every little thing, but oftentimes I just see him try and he's often met with pushback. And it's sad because I do feel like Jasmina probably think that she's perfect and she not, because I feel like the resistance that she shows him is the resistance that she likely saw in that terrible marriage that her dad had with her stepmama. And that's the only way she knows how to identify love. And then she gets in these long distance relationships where she probably already has lack of trust in people, therefore continuing to get in long distance relationships. So if you're not with them, oftentimes your mind is going to wonder if they're not answering the phone, they're not doing this. And she also comes off as a controlling person to me. So she just got a lot of work that she needs, self-work that she needs to do. When do the experts show up? Do they typically show up sooner? Because I haven't seen them so far.
It's
So
after
they don't be on a honeymoon.
They don't show up till they get back to the apartments.
Yeah.
Okay. So hopefully she'll start learning some things about herself that she could change. Because I actually would like to see them stay together. I'm hoping that they can, figure some stuff out together.
Because she black. It's because she black. She know how to act. Black women know how to act. I'm just saying.
I feel like I have a different perspective on Jasmina and Alyssa, because a lot of people were saying that Jasmina is doing the exact same thing as Alyssa, and I don't think that it's where she's not attracted. It is very similar, but people will think that the situations are the same. I don't think that Jasmina is unattracted to Michael. I think it's probably just her being a difficult ass person. And I think she does that as a method of protection because her mom abandoned her, her dad abandoned them, left her with the stepmom. And I feel like she's probably intentionally created these long distance relationships as a way to protect herself. So I feel like she's trying to come off difficult even when it comes to Michael. Like, even the way she acts in conflict to me is hella weird. Like when they was on the boat that day, Lindsay was wrong as hell, and she still tried to find a way to be a middleman in that argument because I think she don't like conflict. Then even this episode, when Alyssa was dead ass wrong, Jasmina was telling Chris to pipe down. So that's part of the reason, just based on the way she's acted in situations of friction. To me, I feel like I have to take with a grain of salt that Michael was actually yelling at her. Even if Michael apologized for it, he seems like the type of person to want to squash beef sooner. So he might have said something with an attitude, but that doesn't mean he was yelling at her. So I think Jasmina is intentionally trying to be difficult because she is afraid to let people in. Even when she was wedding shopping, remember she was trying on the wedding dresses, everybody started crying and she was sitting there like, what the fuck are y'all crying for? She's emotionally drained because of everything she's gone through and she's trying to be difficult.
Can I say something right quick?
I can see that. Go ahead, Bondy.
I would like to disagree with every single one of y'all in these comments that think this girl is not attracted to this man because he is ugly. He's not supposed to be pretty, first of all. Let's get that straight.
Ugly.
Michael is not ugly. I don't know what they're looking at. I get it. You know what I'm saying? Some of y'all don't like short black men. You know what I'm saying? That might not be your jizz. But look at their body language in this picture. She would not be sitting that close to him with her tit on his arm if she wasn't attracted to him. That argument turned her off, most definitely. But I think she's like physically attracted to him.
This is the comment from Octavia. He's not ugly. His head big, but he's not ugly. Yes.
Yes. That's because he's a little nigga. He's a little nigga with a big head. That's why it's important for him to have the beard and some type of muscle tone so he can balance it all out and not look like a little boy by the body. And he's doing that. So you got to give him, a little something here. Okay. How y'all going to just kill a man like that? He ugly. She don't like him. No, that's not the case. I don't think so anyway. And I also don't think women really be thinking like that. Like, y'all can talk that shit, but I have seen some of the ugliest niggas pull bitches. I don't think like that when it comes to men. Men, a lot of the times, it's about their energy and how they carry themselves more than their actual looks, to me. Because if you ugly, but you clean, you smell good, and you swagged out, nobody cares that you're ugly. I'm just telling y'all. Okay? But anyway, anybody got anything else to say about Jasmine and Michael?
Yeah, for Jasmine and Michael, I don't like her attitude. I feel like she is always looking for some kind of issue. When they was talking to Elijah and Katina, I felt like even her, like, sometimes how he, sometimes how he wants to make his point is, I'm like, y'all both do the same thing, but y'all both are a little bit stubborn in y'all opinions of stuff. But I'm like, she tried to paint it as if it's him and not me. And I'm like, well, he's like, well, no, it's both of us. And I feel like she is looking for a reason to argue with him. So I want her to get out of that. Like, something shouldn't always be like a debate. So, but she gets on my nerves right now. I want to kind of just punch her in the face, but not really because it's illegal. But yeah, that's all.
Yeah, she's not a fave right now at all. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on to the last couple, y'all. Child, just the torturous scenes with dead face Alyssa and poor Chris. Child, first of all, they played tennis together, and I feel like they might have been out there for 5 minutes, if that. In 3 of those minutes, they were getting mic'd up. Okay. Then he brings up moving into the apartment. She doesn't feel comfortable. She asks him how he feels before he can even finish talking. She cuts him off because him saying that, when he started out, he was committed to the process. it insinuates that she's not committed to the process. So every time he says something like that, she gets upset because she doesn't want to seem like the bad guy. She doesn't want to seem like the one that's not trying. She doesn't want to seem like she's being mean, when in fact she is. She's a complete and utter fucking asshole, okay? Then she says she doesn't want to be left out of the experience, but she doesn't want to live with him. Then she walks away to cry. The producer runs after her with the bottle of water. I was like, why are you running? I want to trip you. Why the fuck are you running? Okay. And she's like, it's not fair. And, I'm going to miss out on this opportunity just because he's supposed to go to the house. And then, he's over there talking to somebody and she's mad about his hand gestures, y'all. She was like, look at his hand.
Look at his hand gestures.
Yes,
but it was
look
like
at
the
his
gestures
hands.
was still.
Yeah.
It was like he was talking to somebody else, pointing at, up to whatever it was. So it was weird that she was complaining about little stuff, and I feel like the producers know she's full of shit, and they're trying to allow her to show herself being full of shit. Like they like, he's just doing hand. Like he's just. It's weird how she's upset that he don't care if she move in, but he moving in. I think his point was, you've been very, very difficult to where if you don't want to be around me, I can't be here to do, like, I can't come around you. So I'm not going to sit here and allow you to say that you don't want me in the apartment because of how you feel. So I'm moving in regardless of what you say. And that's what's going to be. And her feeling like, I want to be here to have fun with the girls. And I love that the producer said the show is called Married at First Sight. It's about you and your spouse. It's not about you and the girl. So if your whole purpose of still being here and wanting to be in the apartment is to hang out with the women and not get to know Chris, I think their point was you need to make a decision, because once we get back to the house, if you don't want to be with him, you can't be here.
Yeah, I can't stand her. She turned into a fucking demon this episode. I felt like she turned into she grew 15 heads and turned into some type of Karen-esque monster. It was disgusting to see.
Y'all saw it got dark, right?
Yes, it did. It got hella dark. It did. As soon as she started losing her shit.
For a long time.
Yeah, it was bright. Then it was dark. Demon time. She really was out here tripping. I was just irritated in the last scene when he was holding her accountable for experience. And the producer was like, can you just give her a little bit of time? The whole time he was talking to her, she kept looking over at production like, will you stop him from talking to me? And I dislike this woman more than I dislike Chris from 2 seasons ago. This woman has white tears and she weaponizes them, and production allows her. Black producers like, yes, it was a black producer who was the one who told her that this ain't what the show is for. But the other ones have been babying her the entire time. That shit is triggering. Why. Yes, the complexion for protection.
Okay.
Hate to see it. Yeah, she need to get the fuck out of here if she thought that she was going to be regulating this experience. You think that you deserve to stay somewhere rent-free because you on a show? Right. Get the boots.
Bitch. Ooh, Lord.
Thank you for the super chat, Ella. She's not just mean, she is being cruel for no reason. Since seeing him on the wedding day, she has looked for every one reason to not be in the process. And I totally agree. Thank you for the super chat. I totally agree about that. She really has been looking and then trying to use. I love the fact that Katina held her responsible. Jasmina worked on my fucking nerves when they were at the table. Let's just cut to the group scene, okay? They at the group scene. And, of course, everybody's talking about their personal experiences, but nobody really gives a fuck, okay? It's really about when they pose the question to the two of them, what y'all gonna do when it's time to move into an apartment if y'all not really together? This bitch starts giving a speech that we don't know what's going on, okay? Nobody knows what's going on. Nobody knows what she's saying. And then she comes out of her mouth of them out of them swollen vagina lips, okay? That's what they look like. Okay, out of those lips, saying that, oh, I should take the place half of the time and you can take the place the other half of the time. Girl, this is not about being on a show and living in an apartment that you're not paying for. It's about being married to this nigga. Please
I
get
get
away.
airtime. You get airtime.
Yes. Girl, it made me so mad because she was like, I fucking hate him. When she said that, I was like, he has done nothing to you.
I can't stand her.
Yes, I'm
Oh,
sorry.
wrong.
I'm sorry, y'all. I went off on a tangent and forgot Jasmine, the stupid ass, talking about, I think you should respect, her not wanting to talk about this in front of everyone. I think, y'all should shut the fuck up because she don't want to talk about this shit in private neither.
And Noi talking about, no, we understand. No, we don't understand.
Fake.
At all.
Katina over there laughing her ass off. Fine. Like, I'm with Katina. And I'm definitely Lindsay. Yes. Lindsay said, I ain't say nothing. I was here for that. You know what I love the most? Was Chris holding her as to the fire, even when she looked over to the producers and they were like, can you give her time? I said, the audacity of y'all to ask for him to give her time when this is a show that's not even about time. What kind of question? What is that? Why would you even that makes absolutely no sense. So I love that he held her to the mother. I said, Chris, you better call her out. The audacity of you. And then she said the experience. What I loved also was how he paid attention to the words that she was using. Like the experience. You're here for the experience, but you're not here to experience me being in this actual relationship. You want to get, like Necey said, get airtime. You want to come in his house and hang with your friends and chill and do all this stuff. Like, why should you be rewarded to be a part of a process that you're not a part of? And then she gonna say, oh, I don't understand why he gets to make the decision that he gets to be in the house and I don't. Well, he never did have you. You couldn't. You choose not to. But it would make more sense if anybody got to be in the home, it would be him, because he was never not trying to be a part of the process. I cannot stand her. I hate the gaslighting. I hate every time he says anything out of his mouth, she cuts him off and then makes it. First of all, let's talk about how many times she keeps saying she's a good person. I need them to do a collage or whatever you want to call them things. I forgot what you call
person.
I'm gonna need that at the end of the season. I need somebody to do a compilation video. That's what I need a compilation video of her saying how much of a good person she is, but then still painting him out to be an asshole. Her saying that she hate him. This man throwing his hand in the air. She talking about, I hate it. I said, what are we doing? Why are y'all catering to her?
Don't it seem like she's the only one who's pressed on friendships, and it don't really seem like the other girls are friends with her like that?
They not.
No, but she keep running to the black ones though. Them the people she vibe with.
You noticed that, huh? I was just like, oh, isn't this funny that when they separated to talk about what happened, Lindsay and Mark go to talk to Chris, and she goes to talk to Katina and Jasmine. And I love the fact that Katina was like, well, I really think that you're just not attracted to him. and you're just not communicating that. I think that's what it is. Okay. And she kept finding a way to talk around some shit. But that's the truth of the matter. You're not attracted to him. And instead of just being honest about that and playing it like on some friend shit, you're trying to make him out to seem aggressive and disrespectful so that you can make yourself seem like the good guy in this situation. And I really don't like that. I really do not like that switching of the scenario where you're being unnecessarily nasty. He's being extremely patient, and then you're saying shit like he's so disrespectful. He said nothing. He said nothing. Disrespectful to you is holding you to task. I can't stand people like that, y'all. When you hold them accountable for what they're doing, they act like you're doing something wrong to them. What you're saying is so disrespectful. No, it's not disrespectful. It's the truth. You're an asshole.
Period.
I need y'all to go Google dangerous white woman in a list of face. Gonna be right next to it.
I'm sure. Don't sit up there talking. Gonna tell the producers how key threaten them. Like if I'm a good effing person, and if this show doesn't portray that, then I'm gonna be really mad. So you came on this show, like, are you looking for fame? Like, what are you? You definitely was looking for attention, and you for sure are getting that. Okay, and then being worried about, I guess, how her family and stuff is looking, and then your mama even telling you that you out of line and that you wrong. Like, I'm just cut this woman off the show, send her home.
And I was
all
so
because
mad
she's
when
not attracted to him.
Right. I was so mad when she got to use that line that I knew she would use that shit Jasmina said at that table. As soon as Jasmina said she don't have to, I said, why she used that shit later on as a reason for why she don't have to talk to this man about what she want to do. I was mad at him though. Somebody said he handled it with dignity, and I said he did not handle it with dignity. He handled it with grace. But the lack of dignity was asking her to give 1% so he can give 100. No, she has treated you like garbage. You should be saying, I don't want to be with her. Give me another fucking wife. Rematch me. She's not right. She's defective. Something's wrong with her. Send her back.
And y'all know what? It do make sense when somebody said the experts won't be experting this season. It makes sense because I would have expected them to probably step in at this moment. But instead, a lot of her conversations have been had with the producers. They must be changing the way they shoot the show. But obviously, it's keeping me more entertained, I must say.
They said they was reading Dr. Viviana down to the Twitter. And she...
usually on the show, during the honeymoon...
What?
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm far away. Usually on the honeymoon, the experts are never there. That's the time that the couples are supposed to like bond and shit. They wait till they come home because whatever happened on the honeymoon, they can then discuss with the experts. So to me, that makes more sense because if they're there when y'all are supposed to be able to get to know each other, it may mess things up because you're getting help too soon. Y'all not vibing with each other. It's just that Chris and Alyssa's situation is fucked up. But my thing is, Alyssa should have never been able to go on the honeymoon because as she said before they left, they're not compatible. She don't want to be with him. So I feel like them even allowing her to go, it's just really it's torturing Chris because he's the one having to deal with her who is just being a complete bitch. And I feel like even when they get back, I don't even want the experts to talk to her. I want them to send her ass home today. Like, she should not be able to move in because you the way you've acted, the things you said, you are not going to get back and then want to be with him.
No.
Because your mind is set. So I'm like, the producers of her mind is set. I feel like because they know her being a bitch is great TV, they just letting it play out.
She can only be a bitch for so long, though. So I think they know that she's already exhausted it, and it's only been 6 damn days. So they kind of just like, what you want to do?
They just sent her stupid ass home. Anyway,
what were you about to say about Dr. Viviana on Twitter?
Bondy? They were, they were saying her new asshole on Twitter because I think she's the only one that's really on Twitter. They just mad at her as an expert for not like getting involved. And she explained that she's basically like pigeonholed. And it's exactly like Jay Lee just said. They know what's going on, but they can't interfere until they get back home. When they get back home, then they can actually sit down and have conversations. As you see next week, they're going to sit down with Pastor Cal and have a conversation about whether people going home or not. But they don't want to have, they don't want them to interact with them while they're in this portion of the process, I guess.
Yeah.
And, they don't expect to have issues like this soon. But I remember with Chris, they weren't there with that. They didn't come in until after they got back. Remember? Because when all of that shit was going on with Chris, that was on the honeymoon. After they had sex. But
I think some people just not watching the show. So I think people who hasn't watched past seasons don't know like how it really go. Because I'm like, you complaining about the Dr. V, she not supposed to be on the honeymoon time.
Right. Like, what's she gonna do? Poor thing. She was on there tweeting paragraphs to these damn people. But anyway, y'all, let's go ahead and move on from Married at First Sight. Y'all know what I need y'all to do for me. Well,
Gossip.
well. Time for gossip chat. Let's get into it. This is what we're talking
The
about.
mess.
Child,
Ooh,
the
this shit.
baby and Zanny Lay's brother Brandon got into a fight down to the bowling alley Wednesday night, child. Okay, Brandon Bills got jumped by the baby in a good 4-5 of his homeboys and one homegirl. Okay, and it was the dumbest shit I've ever seen in my life for a few reasons. First of all, I don't ever like seeing people get jumped. It's not something I enjoy. I think it's stupid, especially when
Sad.
grown men do it. Another
Mhm.
thing is I hate the baby with the antics of my little ass is gonna try to fight one person, and then whenever that person fights me back, all of my people are going to come and jump on said person. And a lot of people were like, well, that's what security was supposed to do. That's not, no, somebody kicked that dude in the head. Security's
I
not supposed to do
started.
that. We're going to play the video because I want y'all to
Mm.
see what all had went down. We're going to play the video and then we'll come back for commentary. But I'm telling y'all right now, I'm tired of the baby and all of his fucking teeth. I'm tired of him. Look at him. Look at him. Just slipping and sliding all over the goddamn place. That's the dumbest shit I have. What did they think was gonna happen when they slid their asses on the floor? Look at him. Pulling the man by his hair like a bitch. Look at him. I wonder what the baby said to him. He leaned over him and said something. Oh, that was the baby. Okay. He should have hit that nigga. He should have ran up behind and hit that dude, bro. Y'all, do y'all see all these people? I don't see a mask. Child, this cameraman is serious. They're gonna get the store. Bitch, get out the way. How bad was cute. All right, they got. Oh, what is this? Okay, they're separated. Finally, somebody's doing what they're supposed to be doing, which is separating everybody versus trying to jump something. All right, that's it. That's all. Oh, what's going on? What's going on? All right.
That cameraman was dedicated.
Okay, dedicated to getting the story to us. All right, y'all. So I'ma just say that I don't like the baby at this point, and I feel like the stunts and shows are getting tired and old, and I don't know how long you're gonna keep doing this. I'm glad that Danny Lay's brother felt the need to defend his sister, if that's what this was about. Because at the end of the day, you were disrespectful as fuck to his sister. You did embarrass his sister. And I feel like that disrespect has probably continued behind, the scenes. I feel like there have been phone calls and text messages and conversations that have been even more disrespectful, which has made that man even more so want to come and fight your little ass. And if it was a one-on-one on some stable ground, I feel like it might have been a different situation. Okay?
I wish it was.
I don't begrudge homeboy. Go ahead.
I wish it was a different situation. I looked at my phone this morning. I said, what the fuck am I waking up to? I didn't know who it was. Then I saw the baby and I was like, why haven't the people gotten rid of him at this point? Honestly, for real. That was weak as hell. And I know he probably feel like he did something. That's whack as fuck.
You could tell
That's
when he
all I
was
gotta
pushing
say.
through the crowd, like he was feeling
Yeah.
himself. He's like, like it's a fucking
Yeah.
movie, nigga. Get through the crowd, get off me. That's where I whoop that nigga. You can tell he's like patting himself on the back a little bit.
Yeah. Get him out. Get him out of here.
I feel like he think I look different now, y'all. So don't judge me. I take my head off. I'm hot and going through things. I feel like the baby. I don't like the baby, but I didn't like the baby with the Rolling Loud when he said that stuff or whatever. But I feel like he consistently is getting into situations. And what I felt like happened was you went to whatever it was to the bowling alley with 18,000 people. He there by himself. You swing first, and your crew come in, and then y'all proceed to jump him. You pussy.
And then his
Because
head didn't connect.
yeah, it's like
He didn't
you
talk.
pussy. And then the fact that the brother did say, like, if I see the baby is on site, I feel like if the baby was really tough, he would have told us whoever them guys was, let it be me and him, because the issue was between me and him. You did not need to include them people, but them people knew you wanted them to help you jump this boy because you feel like, well, we got him. But you look fake and fugazi now because you can't fight one-on-one for one. You then ran away for two. He tried to catch up with you. You was gone all the way out of here. And I'm like, I just do not understand why people make excuses for the baby when he do something dumb. They kind of try to explain it away. And I'm like, I don't like that. Anybody jump on somebody, this doesn't make any sense to me. And that's exactly what y'all jumped that boy on the bowling alley floor where y'all all was sliding. And somebody was like, where they all was sliding. I'm like, yeah, but they had that man by his hair. What grown man is really, yanking another man by their hair? Y'all, it was so dumb. I'm like, what time was it? Because it was like 4 a.m. our time here. And I'm like,
yeah, it was 6 on my side.
Fighting? I'm like, what the? It's just, he need to go. He need to be arrested, sued, and then whatever else, put up under the jail. Because you was on camera fighting and you were dumb. You caught.
The other thing I thought was funny was that fucking bird that was getting mixed up in men's business and fell face flat on the damn bowling alley trying to get involved in a fight. And then once she hit her face, she, resorted to the job of picking up phones. Yes, girl, if you don't go sit your bird ass down somewhere.
Attention.
Exactly. Very unfortunate situation. Extremely. I feel bad for the little girl who literally came into a family feud. Okay, her family been feuding since she been born. Like, when is she ever going to get a break? Okay, so I definitely hate that for a little girl. The baby situation, I'm like, I don't know too many dudes that's not gonna see you about their sister. I don't know too many dudes, so I don't think he was wrong for wanting to get at the baby for how he extremely disrespected her. But I mean, I don't know, girl, because he definitely asked for this fight and he kind of got it. I think everybody was losing the war on the floor because everybody lost to the ground. If y'all ask me, the bowling alley won, okay? The floors won because
that was the main
nobody else
thing.
did.
Why
okay?
here?
Slip and slide records all day.
Take it to the street.
And then it was the parallel for me. The way he was yanking the boy and throwing him around, and then I think his face hit the in between part. The baby, you finna get sued. And this is why it's gonna be so difficult for this little girl, because if this boy do sue and he has footage all over the world, I feel like a lot of people may feel like, okay, he ain't gonna have no case because he asked for the fade. Now, a lot of people are also saying that he came to the situation with the baby, like, right? So they're saying that the baby was already at the bowling alley, and Danny's brother showed up to the bowling alley ready to fight the baby, right? So he came there for an altercation, but still, I feel like they're going to put more pressure on the baby because you're the bigger artist. You have more to lose. You have security. So they should have exercised their job, which was to get you out of that vicinity so that you do not get into an altercation. And against your better judgment, you partook in this fight. So here it is. So I feel like if he sued him and he had grounds to really sue and win some money, that's gonna be terrible because this small situation has grown even bigger, and it's probably gonna be ongoing. I feel like this ain't gonna be the last time that we hear about issues with the baby and Danny Lay and her brother.
Elaine, I would like to say nobody is arguing the on-site part of this. Everybody keeps saying that. He said on-site. That's not the problem. The problem is the bowling alley floors and the 5 niggas that was on site with him. Like, that's what we're talking about. They could have squatted up in the street and it would have been, everybody would have been like, well, he caught that fade. Catch the fade. But
and you know what else?
And on the bowling alley,
People
was stupid. It was just stupid.
People keep saying like if it wasn't in a bowling alley and if he didn't get jumped, it would have been a different story. I agree. I definitely think it would be a different story, and I think the story would have ended up with somebody probably not being here. So
That's exactly what I was
yeah,
thinking too.
I
yikes.
agree.
Yeah, because the baby seems
Terrible
like the type of
situation.
nigga that don't like
But
to
it's the
lose
thing,
fights.
it can still escalate
Agreed.
because y'all jumped me, or
Yeah.
you know, one thing or the
The
other.
dude
So
was
I'm
still
like,
mad. He did a video screaming and hollering, saying
he
N-word
said
this and
nigga a
that.
lot of
Everybody
like
was so
red.
mad. And I'm like, really?
Y'all throwing his head in the gutter. Ain't no telling what he feeling like next time.
The only thing I will say about the aside from the video, him doing all these NIGGA words and stuff, it's the fact that he said he only wanted to talk, and it's like, no, you didn't, sir. It's okay. It's at this point, it's okay to say that you didn't want to talk. You wanted to throw them hands. Right now, you can say, you know what I'm saying? Because that's not the energy you came
Next
with. You
time, don't
didn't
come
want to just
alone.
talk. You did a ton of videos about how it was on site, and that's what you wanted, right? So it's okay at this point. We know you didn't want to talk.
Yeah.
That's okay. And we don't think that you just lost because you lost. You got jumped.
You got jumped.
And everybody lost to the floor. And it's just that.
And that's why it was stupid. Because
It
y'all
just
all
felt
look like
like some
clowns slipping all over the
foolery.
fucking place. Like y'all look like
Foolery.
clowns. Like
because I think the baby knocked a drink out his hand first. So I don't even know if the floors were slippery for I think the drink that the baby dropped or knocked out his hand is what made everybody slip and slide.
And then they fell
Well,
into
it didn't
the
look
gutters.
like they were bowling. You know how slippery the bowling floors are if you're not wearing bowling shoes.
Oh yeah,
it probably
depending on
was
the
slippery.
shoes you got on.
Yeah.
Yes, and they all had on
Oh,
G Nikes and
yes.
shit. They all had on like regular flat bottom tennis
Embarrassing.
shoes.
They was ice skating.
They
Yes,
was
they was
definitely
definitely
on the ice
sliding.
To
rink.
watch all of them falling, it was like Home Alone. I was like, what the fuck?
But
Stupid.
it was
Y'all-
giving straight girl energy the way that, because only a female gonna hold on to your hair that long. And no matter how much she slip and she slide, only a female gonna. I mean, he
Holding
held on with
on
his
to
hair
his
with 2
hair.
men.
And was just tossing them. I'm like,
And
that's not even a
slide.
fight.
It's
I
like,
a
was
that's
girl
bitch
falling flat on her
made.
face for me. That girl.
And you know why he was doing that? He was using him to try to keep himself from falling.
falling.
Like, you niggas ain't shit. Y'all
Ooh,
lame as fuck for that.
baby.
But anyway, let's go ahead and move on, y'all. Child, listen, let's go ahead and talk about Sherry Shepherd taking over the Wendy Williams show. I listen, I don't care. Can I tell y'all the truth? I don't watch it. I don't care to watch it. Sherry Shepherd is cute and everything, but she's not my demographic. I think Sherry Shepherd is for Sherry Shepherd is a black woman for white women, if you ask me.
Yes.
She's not for me. And essentially, Wendy always expressed her anti-blackness in one way or another. So that goes along in the same vein. They both have the same type of body shape and everything. I think this is great for Sherry. This is good for Sherry. Even though I feel like that story about Sherry and that damn baby, her having to pay child support for that baby that she had, I was like, bitch, how you gonna have a baby through surrogacy and then be like, I don't want the baby no more because you and a man broke up? Like,
what? I didn't know that.
bloody as fuck to me. Yeah, somebody.
Yeah, I think the baby had like an issue. Did he have
Yes.
like Down syndrome? Wasn't the baby had some type of issues, right?
I'm not sure about that part, but I just know that she didn't want the baby, and the man was on food stamps and shit with the baby and stuff. And she now has to pay child support for the baby. And she don't have nothing to do with it, but she pays the child support. And I'm just like, damn, Sherry Shepherd, that's some cold-blooded shit, bro. So I kind of don't give a fuck about her taking over Wendy's show. I stopped watching Wendy's show a long time ago. What y'all think?
Yeah, I stopped watching.
I don't see nothing wrong with it.
Right. And the way that they announced it to me felt like they were trying to ease it on, because the articles I was seeing said temporary main host. Like, what are you saying? How long is she gonna be? What is temporary main host? I don't know. But that picture that you pulled up, the picture that you had of Sherry, they intentionally are trying to make her the new Wendy, because I remember every time I saw Sherry on TV before, they would always make her wear A-line dresses. I never knew she was shaped like this for real, for real. Even when she was on that one show, The Sex Life of College Girls, I couldn't tell that she was shaped like this. But now y'all trying to make her look like Wendy for real.
Wow.
I think that's because Like, yeah, you're right. They trying to make her look like Wendy, but you know she ain't got no hips and no ass. So they used to always have her with like a full
The
skirt on to
A-line,
balance out
yeah.
her titties. Yeah, her A-line, like you said, because you know, yeah. But I don't like it. Go back to A-line.
See, I used to watch Wendy, but with the guest host, I only watch it when Sherry's the host. Because when she was the first time she hosted, it was actually pretty good. I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. She got jokes, she got good timing or whatever. And I felt like if anybody should be a permanent like a guest host, it should be her. I remember the last time she was sick, they had Jerry O'Connell be he was the one guest hosting while she was gone. And at one point they had Nick Cannon. So I feel like it's weird that even they're saying how Wendy, doesn't want to be shared. I'm like, she does not want another Black woman in that space because that does replace her. But I'm like, you ain't did a show since July 2021. It is February of 2022. So you can't expect them to just keep holding your space for that long when in reality, they don't know when you can come back. They have to make a plan for the show, the producers, the workers. And if Sherry's the one who's testing the best, to me it makes sense. I think it's weird to have consistent rotating hosts because you still want the audience to feel like they're getting the same show, and each different host does shit differently. So it just can go either way. I like Sherry Shepherd. I feel like she's a funny, open person because equal issues with the ex-husband. She just felt like he tricked her to wanting to have a kid when they weren't really on the best of terms because he wanted her to pay child support, and that's exactly what happened. And that's the crazy part. And I think her older son is the one who is like on the spectrum. I don't know if the new baby was, but I think it makes sense to have Sherry do it. Why not? Who? If not her, then who?
Yeah, no, it makes sense. I'm not watching either way, is what I'm saying. But that's them.
Yeah, I
I
wasn't
might
really watching it
tune
when
in.
Wendy had her own show.
Right.
I will
I
watch it
wasn't really watching
sometimes.
it the first time, but when it goes by, like Nick can't, I don't really watch Nick's show. But if it goes viral, then I'm gonna see what everybody else talking. I'm gonna go to YouTube and see what's up and check out the show. Like The Real, I don't really watch that. But I'll definitely check out their stuff over on YouTube. So
See, I record those shows.
But I
in
mean,
case something happens.
if they couldn't do Sherry, then who would be? There's nobody that would compare for them to slide into Wendy's spot that could give them a similar. It's nobody. So and Sherry was the only person to give them the high ratings.
She is gonna be a similar field.
Leah Remy, is it Remy, whatever. Leah from King of Queens, so the white girl who was from
Leah Remini.
Yeah.
She was kind of upset. She was kind of upset that she wasn't a front runner because she's kind of close with Wendy. And
I couldn't see her doing it. I couldn't see her doing it.
Because she hasn't been hosting in a minute. I feel they were saying she was a little bit under the weather. But when she was on there, I need to have a vibe of like it's the same kind of show. It's a different host, but still the vibe is the same. And like even with Remy Mom and Fat Joe, I'm looking like, nah. It's too New York for me. It's both of them together. I can't do I can't do y'all together.
It's too much both of them together. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll just take Remy.
It's
or you
too
can
much.
just give me Joe. But you can't give me both of them at the same time.
And I feel like anybody who hosts, if they have to have somebody else with them, it shouldn't be you. Because the Wendy show is about one host talking about this or that. You shouldn't need, another person. And because if you do that, it's then a different show. That's not the Wendy show. So Fat Joe and Remy, they had Leah Remy and I think maybe Michelle Fasage, who's on like Drag Race. And then they even had Kim Whitley and another guy whose name I can't think about right now. So the two people, I'm like, no, it needs to be somebody who can do it on their own. Because I mean, I don't think Wendy, I don't think Wendy would ever come back. I really don't. I don't think she gonna be able to come back better than what she was. And if you can't come back better than how you left, don't come back and then, go out on a bad note.
Right, let it go.
Yeah. Okay. She just holding on for dear life, honey.
I mean, it's too late, but they could have called us.
They really could have.
They could have. We would have been there for them. All right, y'all. Let's move on. So let's talk about y'all Isaiah Rashad. So you
Lord have
guys,
mercy.
Isaiah Rashad is a rapper that got his first big break in like 2012. Um, I don't know him like that, so I'm not gonna pretend like I do. I just did slight research on Wikipedia. So I don't really know the young man like that, but what I know is I saw him slobbing knob like corn on a cob and staring into the camera teasingly. And from what Jami tells me, there were two other men whose knobs he was slobbing on, along with the one that I saw.
No, don't. No,
They
no.
were
He was
slobbing on
getting
Two
his.
men,
slobbed on by
by
two
two
other
white
men. Two other
men.
men were
Yeah,
slobbing on
Right.
him.
Oh,
Yeah.
two men were slobbing
hmm
on him.
yeah.
Right. Say
Yeah, he
Showtime.
slobbed terribly the first round, and then the
Yes.
second round they did a terrible job on him.
Oh,
Correct.
Yeah.
that's upsetting. You normally think that men are good at that. They have strong jaw muscles. But yes, you guys, it's a lot of peen exposure this week, which is why in my Discord there is now a channel called Peen Picks. We had really good time in that channel on my Discord. So shout out to everybody that was there. Um, so yeah, you guys, somebody outed him. Apparently, people didn't know he was gay. So now he's been outed, and in this very intimate way. Only thing I know is SZA was dating this guy who likes guys.
SZA was dating
Well,
him?
SZA was dating him. I know she.
No, they said that they were just best friends. I think it was assumed that they were dating, but they were just
Okay.
best friends, from my understanding.
Yeah, I don't know him, but either way, the people were saying he was outed, and I just wanted you guys' opinion. What do you think? Like, how do y'all feel about this? Because I actually heard people acting like, it was okay to like out somebody for whatever reason,
Right.
and I'm not. I don't understand that. That's not okay. That's not
I
okay.
feel bad. I
Yeah,
was just
it's
very
not cool.
confused because we don't know the situation. And I don't operate as if I know what a man's preference is just based on him being a man
Mm-hmm.
anymore, especially since we're in 2022.
Mm.
We
Right,
don't know, like, is it really an outing or is it just shit we didn't know? So
right.
that's why it's a, very complex situation. I know he got two kids, but then again, that don't mean that today or he hasn't always been interested in men. Who knows? It was just very odd. And what I do know, well, what I saw online from his Wikipedia page is that he struggled with like actually wanting to live like 2 times in his life. So I hope that this situation he's able to keep his head up
Recover.
and find a way,
Mm-hmm.
find a way to recover from it because that's embarrassing enough.
Yeah.
We're like, think about it. Maybe your friends might have knew that you were into guys, but the world didn't know. So you got to deal with the perception of that. And then on another level, even being a heterosexual person, having something revealed like that on social media in front of everybody.
Terrible.
Yeah. So I feel bad. I feel bad. I don't think people should ever be outed. Outing to me is just so whack. You can't assume that you know somebody's sexual preference anymore.
Right. Yeah, I just feel like it was fucked up to
Agreed.
put that out on social
Exactly.
media like that. Mm-mm.
Very whack. I mean, and then we don't know if he actually did it himself. We don't know. But in terms of somebody outing this person, I think that's highly disrespectful. But then at the same time, it is kind of like that shouldn't even really exist in a sense. Like outing, like really, you really feel like you outed somebody with where we are in today. Kind of like what Necey said, we don't automatically assume that somebody is straight just because they're a male. It's kind of like
Right.
really like, and like you thought you did something, didn't it? Okay,
Right.
and I guess the only thing that makes this so big, even though I wasn't fully familiar with who he was, is the connection and the blowback that he may have on Kendrick Lamar, if any. You know what I'm saying? So it's just gonna be
If he's
interesting to see.
Kendrick's
Like
artist?
Niecy said,
Yeah, that's his
I think
deal.
TDE.
he signed to
Mm-hmm.
like Top
Okay.
Dog Entertainment. I think. Girl, I was a mess last night because I had to tell my man about this. So right here, he was scrunch face, like confused, like what is happening? Like what's going on? And I said, I don't know if TDE stand for the same thing anymore. I don't know if it's dog. I think it's
Oh, shut up.
yeah,
Shut up.
entertainment. But anyway, girl. So Yes, yeah, there's a whole lot of things going on social media, but I hope that his mental is going to be okay ultimately, and I would like to see, honestly, now that we know who this guy is, what is his career gonna look like now that he has been outed in this particular, I guess he's in like the hip hop industry. What does that look like? Because it don't seem like the hip hop industry really accept people that are gay. I feel like the only person I've seen that has been accepted as gay or bi or whatever was Saucy Santana. And I feel like he probably isn't all the way into the industry as he needs to be or would want to be, but a lot of people know him. So it just makes me wonder what happens with the career at this point.
Right.
And hopefully it won't take much of a toll on his mind.
I feel like anybody.
Lil Nas, I just had to add on to what Jamie said. Lil Nas, he came out later.
Oh yes, Lil Nas, but he not hip hop. He's in one of those
he ain't TDE
categories. Yeah, good night.
I mean, I feel like the boys need to get over it.
I just think like nobody should be outed. That's first and foremost. I think outing anyone, I think the comment says outing someone takes away their consent. So that's in stone. Boom. I also feel like if you do not want people to know what you do in your personal life, maybe don't record it. Because
I don't know about that.
Well, this is the thing. Recording things means it can get out. And if that's not what you want, because I'm not saying don't do what you do, but if you're making recordings of doing things that you do not want to be out, it's like, just don't.
So me and Lyric should stop making tapes, is what you're saying?
I mean, if you wanted to get out, let it get out.
I don't want it to get out. It's for our pleasure.
But that's with your husband. I'm like, if he has a girlfriend or a wife or whatever, but he's doing other things with other people, you never know how those other people can feel about what you're doing. And again, not saying it's right at all. So that's not my point. My point is, I just want. I sometimes feel like people should stop recording shit because everything doesn't need to be recorded. Especially if you're not with someone you trust. Them two men he was with, he don't know them two men. Them was 2 Tinder dates he found for the suck his dick, and that was it.
Say showtime. Say showtime at the same time. Showtime.
If you're gonna do stuff, you need to be with people who you trust, and my husband ain't gonna leak this. Well, we get divorced, he might, and I gotta kill him. But again, you not with random people recording things that with your private stuff. It's like
but that's his stuff on his phone though. But see, that's the thing. I mean,
like who?
It sounds like you're saying him recording as if somebody. That's what I'm trying to get to. Like, cause nobody recorded him. He was in there doing a terrible job on the knob, recording himself.
Yeah,
so that's what I'm like. Okay, maybe his phone got hacked. Yeah, maybe his phone got hacked. Honey. And then it just, got out there.
But Jay Lee, are you saying to not even you're saying in order to not risk it, don't record? That's what you're saying, Jay Lee?
I think some things that people like to do that you maybe don't want other people to know that you do it. It doesn't mean you don't do it, but you don't record. I would never record myself sucking dick, even though I suck dick. Because I don't ever want the sucking of the dick to ever get out for anyone to see. So it's not that
even though
you
have to tell us that.
It's like, look, this is the open forum. We got adults. We're gonna talk about sex sometimes. But again, it's like
we just had a whole sex interview.
Yeah, so I'm not I'm open and free. But I'm not saying that you shouldn't do things with whoever. But I'm like, you should think about what happens if me looking in a camera sucking dick gets out. How would that affect my life going forward? If you don't mind that being out because it is, then fine. But I'm not.
That's real cute, Jay Lee. That's real cute. But I like to tell you, the way these gay men like to do drugs and have sex, ain't nobody in their right mind when they do any of this shit in order to be like, maybe I shouldn't do this shit. Yeah, no. I think all the inhibitions have been thrown to the wind.
Or they may be sober and getting sucking dick. I promise
you.
You think
if he was with two white men?
Well, they may have been Mexican. I don't know.
They weren't black. They was giving
whatever was going on. I bet you any motherfucking money there was some white girl involved. I'd bet $1. Okay, listen to me. Nah, it makes it eat. Never mind. I'm gonna move on from there. But there are certain drugs that just aid in the process. So if they doing shit you know, especially with 3 of them. Yeah, he wasn't so he said he wasn't sober. He was high on poppers. Yeah,
Yeah.
because
Did y'all see the
What is a popper?
aren't those like the
what is it, like a
Molly?
Molly?
Yeah, I thought
Yeah.
Molly, right?
No, poppers is
It's
something
from
like it's. I think it's something different
Okay.
that has to do with like gay sex. Because I heard
Yeah.
Oh,
people.
I don't know.
No,
Oh,
yeah.
I heard on a
They
different two
yeah.
gay people who has on YouTube has talked about
Yeah.
it.
Yeah,
Oh, so
it is Molly. That's what I know. It's
okay,
Molly,
that's
but
what I
it helps
thought.
them. Yeah, it is Molly, but it helps
Okay.
them, you know, that it makes that's what I was saying. It makes the sex easier. It makes the sex more
Right.
enjoyable. And
It
that's
was an
why
entire event because y'all saw they had the porn on the TV screen in the back while that was going on.
Oh, girl, I didn't even catch that in the back now.
Yeah,
the
it
bottoming
was porn
better. We gotta
in
make
the
the
back.
bottoming
So it was
VCR.
a whole setup, a whole vibe that they had going on.
Yeah, it
And
was definitely
him
a
having them
situation.
say the words at the same time and everything was very much given like, let's meet up. This what we gonna do. Ain't no telling, but
I
I do
ain't
feel bad
judging.
for the man.
Mm-mm.
Oh
I ain't
Lord.
judging, baby. Get it how you live. Good luck.
Okay, so they're saying it's not Molly. Poppers are VCR cleaner solution that they inhale. Oh wow.
Wow. VCR. Who discovered that?
I know, right? Who was sitting around like, let's sniff this shit? Something wrong with you,
They
nigga.
still sell VCR cleaner? That's where I'm at.
Right,
That
right.
They
Who
still sell
still sells
VCR
VCR
they
cleaner?
probably seen them on sell them on eBay for a high price.
I just say this shit is
High
do they
price.
sell this down
Let
to the
me find
wall?
out. Do I need to start selling VCR cleaner on eBay?
That is
I'm
hilarious.
joking.
Child, it wouldn't be illegal. That's a legal substance. I don't know what you're gonna do with it. Okay, what if you got a VCR you need cleaning? Let's go ahead and move on. Oh my God. Okay. So, with all of this penis talk, I feel like the conversation should go ahead and continue on Nelly and Little Fizzle Pop. I want to say that never before has Monique's calling Little Fizzle Pop hit home, because I really do feel like it's a little fizzle and then it's a pop.
The accuracy.
It's a little fizzle and then it's a pop. Okay. Both of these men, for some reason, decided to either on purpose or accidentally put out videos of their penises this week, and we all don't understand why and wish they would not have. Okay. Lyric is leaving the building now. Okay. Nelly's penis was medium, just wasn't giving what we thought it was going to give. It was medium. He had a young woman down there slobbing a knob, corn on the cob. Came out with a apology to the young woman. Nobody cared about the apology. We cared that the peen was underwhelming. Okay, very underwhelming. And then Lil Fizzle Pop gave us some weird mushroom shaped peen. And we were nervous because I don't think any of us had ever seen anything like that before. And the funny part about it is, I was like, oh, he's probably not on hard. And then he ejaculated. And I was like, well, that's disappointing. So, yeah, I don't know why people are paying Lil Fizzle Pop for his OnlyFans, though. Make that make sense.
And
I'm
it
so
don't.
disappointed, baby.
Come on,
I'm
Jamie,
not
because
paying
I
for
was
that,
looking at
dear.
your Instagram story, Jamie, and you was killing me with the facial expression.
Look, straight giving a curved pencil for me with a attachable eraser on top. I hated to see it.
Little bitty
Highly
Amazon check.
disappointing. Like, it just Moniece wasn't lying, is what we can confirm. A lot of people be thinking Moniece be lying in these streets, and she don't. She did not call him teeny weeny fizzle pop for nothing. Nelly, it's not that you have a bad size, you know, because it's perfect for a lot of people. It may not have been that long. It may have had the thickness a bit. I think it was in comparison to a lot of what we've been seeing leak out. And that's why you're on the bottom of the totem pole for America at this time. You're still a looker. You know, a lot of people didn't understand. Well, a lot of people said that Ashanti not coming back for that. But I need y'all to understand that Ashanti actually stayed for like a decade. So he know how to, he got some stroke in him, even with that. What did y'all think about the girl that was actually going to town? I didn't think she did that bad of a job. I did feel like you were doing all of that. What did y'all think about that?
I feel like he was doing a lot to prove a point to him. He was giving a
Yeah,
good
it was
long
40 mil, like
game,
she said.
Shoot.
Shoot,
But they
40
were
mil.
calling it dry, and I was like, it wasn't dry. I saw some glistening in there.
Yeah, a little.
It's going to town.
But I have to second Jami. I think it was pretty average. But yeah, I feel like, of course, based on what we've seen over the years, we talking about Genuine, we talking about
Stevie
Trey
J.
Songz, we talking about Stevie J. Based on what
J.
we've seen, it's like
Nick Cannon as of
don't-
recent.
Yeah, and I know you know because you talk about the
Bam.
Discord.
Listen.
Just keep that to yourself if it ain't gonna hit on what the internet streets is hitting for. And
The competition.
Look, even
yeah.
Hitman Holla. Even Hitman Holla was out here giving.
Somebody needs to put that in the Discord. Okay.
And let me make this clear. It was nothing wrong with it. Okay. He may know how to work it very well. It's very much average. It's very much okay. Be happy with it. But it's just the comparison to the wows that we've seen on the internet where we Safari. Right. Yes. Wow.
Nobody is talking about Soulja Boy. No, we're not talking about Soulja Boy. And
Soulja ain't bad now.
No, he not, but he abusive. And I just don't, I'd rather not.
We said Trey, and Trey out here got allegations going on.
Yeah, Trey has allegations.
We have to be an equal opportunity peen.
This is true, but Trey is not in my Discord right now, and I didn't ask for him to be. But that's what I meant. But you're right about that, though. Okay, Trey is impressive, even though we don't want it because we feel like it may hurt. August Alsina. Okay, listen. Chris Breezy. Omarion was a favorite of mine. It was giving.
I don't remember that.
What? Who you know?
Oh, Omarion?
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Girl, get in that Discord.
And that's what April was saying.
Go ahead and Discord.
Sure. She said, two different ways. Okay. Right. So she definitely gave us two different ways.
That's how you know Omarion.
But look, though,
really
y'all, she was beating up Fizz, though, down to Love and Hip Hop Family Reunion, though, for that. That's the thing for me. You abusing this man down into the hotel for that? I'm disappointed in you, April. What is Tay hitting on, though?
Who?
Tay Diggs.
Tay Diggs.
Oh. I don't
even want to know. I don't want to know.
I feel like based on it, probably impressive. I'm guessing. I'm
willing to believe until proven wrong.
Not a collage, but yes, Omarion was in the Discord. His face was in the picture as well. Oh,
and the
tags. Okay,
so we know it was real.
Where
the hell is Jay Lee? Jay Lee left and has not come back.
She said she was going to try to log in again.
Okay.
She hit the chat. Look at the chat.
Oh, I'm sorry. Ugh. Because I looked in the DMs. Okay. All right. She's gonna try. Okay. Cool. All right. Well.
Okay. Cool.
With that, we'll go ahead and move on to the last topic. Actually, it may not be the last topic. Do y'all want to talk about Kim and Kanye?
What happened?
Okay. Well, that Kanye wrote
cousin.
he posted that picture of the little girl North going off about her being on social media, and then Kim wrote a manifesto saying she chose herself, and then he was like, I want my family back, but she kidnapped my baby. It's just a lot of going back and forth. And now the old girl Julia Fox, who I wouldn't know if I saw on the street, is talking about they're in an open relationship. I feel like they want us to care so bad, and we don't.
At all. And then he over here talking about my black children, my black this, my black that. But
now it's about being black.
What? That's the thing for me. I'm not stunned, Kanye.
Now it's about being black. Boy, if you don't get the fuck out of here with that, it wasn't about being black no other time. You ain't care about being black no other time, sir.
No other time.
You know what else I thought was weird about this situation is the girlfriend, when she was doing that radio interview, and the radio person was asking her about her and Kim wearing the same outfits, and she said that she used to wear outfits because Kim wore them. how much you want to bet, like, the way that Kanye used to praise Kim as though she was a goddess. Remember that one time Kanye was like, Beyonce should have pictures of women like Kim around the studio when she making music. Do y'all remember him saying that?
Child, no, I don't, and
think
I'm glad I
vaguely,
don't, because that sounds like
It was
garbage.
years ago, like before they fell out. But he was basically saying that Kim was an inspirational woman and Beyonce, she had pictures of her in the studio. Like, I'm just making that point to show y'all how much he admires her. And it's weird because to me, I felt like the girlfriend low-key admires Kim too.
Of course they do.
So she's just there for the
but
ride.
it's the fact that
Fan.
Necey, you saying that, I vaguely remember that. I feel like he did say something like that years ago, but it's the fact that he was so disconnected and actually still is, and now he's trying to find his way back home with these gospel church choir moments he has. But you were so disconnected from the Black community that this woman went and took her entire shape and aesthetic, physical aesthetic, from a Black woman, and then had the audacity to tell one of the most powerful Black women in the music game that she should have pictures of this woman who had her come up by way of come literally up in a video. Like, that's how she got it. And you have the audacity to tell this woman she should have portraits, lady, around the studio. That's ultimate disrespect. And I bet you it was in that moment when Beyonce said, I'm not with him, Jay-Z, so you better figure it out, because I'm not rocking with him.
And
From
Ray
this
J hit
moment
it
forward,
first.
he was he was wrong for that.
Ray
That
J
was
hit it
whack.
first. That's all I'm gonna say.
Can y'all hear me?
Yes, girl.
Yay.
Yep.
Is the audio weird?
No.
Okay, because I'm on my phone in the bed.
All right, long as you're okay now.
Honey,
That's the main thing.
Opinions on Kim and Kanye, girl?
I feel like, well, because I was talking about it earlier, and did y'all see the post Kim made?
Yeah.
So when she put in the post how, she didn't want Kanye to be able to be manipulating situations and changing narratives, it made me mad, because I felt like they've consistently done that at the Kardashian clan to other people. And it's like, oh, it's not fun when somebody else is doing it to y'all. So I didn't like her trying to make it seem like him doing what they do is wrong. And also, I don't support Kanye and his bullshit, but I like that he's trying to say, apparently, that he just wants to be able to have access to his kids. And even though we don't know if he's lying about, not knowing the location of the birthday party and how he feel like Kim is not allowing him to see the kids as much, I don't mind him ranting and raving, because at least he's trying to be a good father. He just going about it in a public way. And I wonder if he wasn't public about it, would she have to bend to his will? So it's like a catch-22 to where we don't know which one of them is the fucked up person. Because Kanye be on some bullshit with his rants or whatever. But I don't trust the Kardashian at all, because they all made a play. I think they love Mattel dolls. So it just aggravates me that we kind of don't know which person to even side with. But I feel like because he wants, as he said, just to be able to be a father and have a say in his kids' life, I don't find anything wrong with that. But Kanye also sometimes be on bullshit. So it's like, I don't know.
I personally feel like Kanye is just on bullshit. Like, even this is what happens when you have kids with Kardashians. Like, your Mad North is on TikTok. What the fuck did you think she was going to do? Her entire family makes money off of social media and reality TV. What did you think was going to happen when you procreated with this family? Like, Kanye, you were so happy to wash yourself off from Amber Rose to go run into, the the clappers that have been shared amongst many. That is Kim Kardashian. Deal with that shit, nigga. They powerful and they can probably remove you from the situation. But guess what? That's what you wanted, right? You wanted to get on and leave your ass for a white girl and all of that shit. Well, guess what?
Help me.
Now that's where you're at with it. I don't feel bad for the nigga at all. If you ask me, if slavery was a choice, so was you deciding to have children with the Kardashian women. And with that being said, let's go ahead and move on to the last topic. Are y'all going to paint and suck?
And suck.
Girl, did you not see this video?
Y'all know I ain't sucking dick
I
on
heard
camera.
about it. I heard about it on
Girl.
Twitter, but I didn't know they had pictures from the event.
Girl, I found these pictures because I could not play that video. But that video, this girl was really like sucking this man dick, and he was like bang, bang, bang in the back of her throat. And I was just like, not in front of everybody, not in front of all of these people.
That was what was
Like,
crazy. Because when I heard
No.
about it, I assumed it was somebody like in the corner somewhere who got caught doing it.
she was in the middle of the room, girl.
In the middle, around all the people. And I'm like,
Everybody
this
was
dick
just
is in
looking
her
at it like, I
mouth.
can't believe this bitch.
Please do not normalize this shit. I'm so tired of hopping on Twitter and everybody talking about normalize, blah, blah, blah. This seems like some dumb shit that somebody is going to try to normalize. Please do not. Please don't.
Yeah, I don't want to normalize going to a paint and sip and watching somebody's auntie get the back of her tonsils hit by the head of the Quan's dick. I'm not here for it at all. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like what's going on with women? Like, yes, debauchery. Like, what are we going through? Like, just go to a sex club if that's what you're trying to do. There's a time and a place for these things. But I don't think that I don't think the event was called Paint and Suck, but that's what ended up happening. And look, I'm zooming in trying to see, are y'all really in here painting? Are y'all really in here painting? Child.
Well, we have paint and sips here. I think they have them a lot of places or whatever. When you go, you paint a little dry.
Not suck, though.
Ain't no
That's
sucking
what I'm
going on around
saying.
here.
We do paint and sips too. We just don't do paint
Right.
and sucks, is what we're saying.
And that's the
Girl,
bad part. Like, it's like people going, if people, I think,
not on Black
it's
History
like,
Month.
if it's like a bachelorette party, so it's naked men or whatever, I get that. I'm all for a good time. I don't mind seeing naked men. But it's like, did you know him? Was his dick clean? Had anybody else touched it? Did you wipe it off first? I just can't imagine being at a public event and just am I so drunk I just put a dick in my mouth? It's just weird. So I was like, she was sucking dick and she was like sitting at a table, but like he was basically banging her face. Truth. It's crazy.
And that shit takes work. I don't understand why would you want to do that to a stranger drunk? That shit takes work in public.
That's how you know she was trying to prove something. I suck dick better than
Terrible.
all you bitches. All right, you old male identified slut.
That's sad.
God, I suck
That's
dick better than
sad.
everybody up in
Terrible.
here.
Cause you know that's how people, you know that's how bitches be feeling. Like, I'm about to show these bitches something.
I
Ma'am,
ain't got no
you with me.
reflex. No
Okay,
reflex.
listen, no gag reflux. Look at that. Look at that. Nut. Look, bitch. Okay, that's a flex between you and your nigga, not amongst all us. You my mama age. What is this? Yeah.
And I wonder if she
sad.
assumed somebody was. I wonder if she think, well, because the men are naked, maybe no one's recording in here. But I'm like, I feel like when certain
Somebody took
things
their
start
phone out as
happening,
soon as that shit started
phones
happening.
come
Bitch,
out and
what?
recording starts happening. So I'm like, you knew the minute you took that man penis in your mouth, phones
She
was
didn't
gonna
care.
come out and record it. So I was like,
She
I
didn't
just would
care.
never. Had she been like in a separate area, being in exhibitions, okay, cool, because you know
Sucking
whatever.
COVID off a stranger.
It's because
Damn
it was
Do
just in the middle of the
anything
flow.
for clout. Do anything
Okay.
for clout.
She
Do
did it like
anything
it
for
belongs
clout.
to her. Do it like it might be dead. Terrible.
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 Girl, that's so embarrassing. I have no words. I'm shocked. I'm shook. I'm sure he was shocked and shook up too. Yikes.
He
It's
didn't look like
terrible.
it.
I don't know what to say.
Yeah, that bitch by the back of the head.
I mean, when he came, he was shook. I'm sure there was
Ooh,
a
that's
few
so
shakes.
nasty.
That's nasty. You're not
Not
supposed to
Miss
let
Lady.
that
Not Miss Lady.
Shake out.
not in a panoramic.
Horrible. Like, she
Terrible.
gonna be my friend. I'd be like, y'all don't know this woman. I do not. She did not come here
Listen,
with me. She gonna have
bitch,
to
you're
Uber
not even
home.
getting the. We better not enroll in the same car. That's why I like to take my own car because we is not riding in the same car together, girl. I don't want to be responsible.
Like, don't
for
put
one.
them stranger dicks like a lips in my car.
Girl, you
That's
can't breathe
what
that.
Don't
What
be
is going on?
breathing.
in Black History
What kind
Month.
of HIV,
Be breathing my
There's
air.
so many dicks.
COVID
And
air,
that
you're gonna be
air in that
breathing
I'm
car
trying to figure
probably
out what's
smelling
going on in
hot.
Black History Month.
Oh, I missed the Nelly Fizzle Pop dick sucking conversation.
You did. That's what I'm saying, though. That's what I'm saying. It's so much dicks.
We can honestly go back to it because it's not like the conversation has really changed.
Well, this
It's the
is
same
thing.
thing.
With
It's but
Nelly's
the
dick,
whole
There's so much male testosterone going on right now.
because with
What is
Nelly, I
happening?
like Nelly's dick. I feel like Nelly think it's average and nice,
Oh, okay. Well, that's
and
cute.
that's like a regular
cute.
size dick. And then Lil Fizzle Pop, which his name's still Lil Fizzle, Mushroom Pop. I feel like his dick may get disability. I feel like his dick should not be shaped like that. I feel like I'm surprised he recorded himself, jacking off real delicately because the dick might break. And I don't
No,
know
ma'am.
why anybody would pay on what's it called?
OnlyFans.
OnlyFans.
To see that. So I wonder if he had OnlyFans and then maybe that's the first time he showed his dick, which is the reason why people, somebody recorded it and posted it, because nobody would assume, it's like a skinny pencil, then a mushroom on top or whatever.
And
It was kind of
and it's
curved as
to the
well,
left
then
a
the
little
curve,
bit.
like the
It's
curve
Oh,
is
that is
leaning.
curved.
so embarrassing.
It's literally leaning like a little mushroom coming out of the ground. Like
Yes. I think
It's
it might be
terrible.
broke. So I
That's
I
feel like
swear to
V
God,
is
I
gonna get
thought it was
all the smoke
soft.
for his
I
fucked up
swear to
dick.
God, I
And
thought
Nelly
it was
dick not that bad.
soft. And then he ejaculated, and I was like, so he wasn't
It's
soft.
horrible.
But it's
Oh man,
because
I didn't even watch it. I just saw y'all's comments and I didn't even watch it.
you didn't see
Now
it?
that you No, I saw y'all's comments and I was like, what am I about to mess? I was out in public. Now, if I saw y'all's comments and it was something hidden, I would have pulled up. I would have. But once I seen the comments, I just seen the video, I seen the shape, and I said, I don't need to see nothing.
Did
I
y'all
don't need
have the
to
audio
interrupt
on to hear him? To hear him?
No, ma'am. That was enough.
See,
No, ma'am.
this is the funny part. When I first watched it, I didn't open it up wide, so I didn't even know who dick it was. So when I seen the little fizz thing in the corner, and I was like,
Black
what is this
Dick Week.
nasty? But you can, and I said, oh, that's him, because you can hear him. I'm like, that's Fizz. That's Fizz's voice. The same we heard Nelly's voice. I just, so I'm not paying for mushroom dick.
That's what I was saying. Who's paying for this? Who was like, I'm gonna pay for this? And then whoever paid and then leaked it. Oh man, that's so fucked up.
They leaked it because they thought they got ripped off.
But it's like, I think he has to know his dick don't look normal. Like he has to watch porn and see other dicks.
The
So
moaning
I
was
feel
too
like
much.
if you have an OnlyFans and your dick look weird, like you should only fuck people. Like put condoms on so we can't see it all the way, and just we should not see your penis like just up close and on her face, because seeing his dick up close and in my face, I was like, why am I getting smacked in the face with a mushroom? It looks so weird. And I know he just
I
loves
think he
to
knew.
make his dick
I
himself
feel like somebody lied to us about Lil Fizzle Pop.
because he's so cute.
No, they didn't. He knew, because remember when Monique said that? Remember when she said that he didn't have a home? If you got it like that and you got it down there, you're gonna be at somebody's house. But he was homeless for a minute, so
Because who
obviously
wants a
he should have
mushroom
known
dick
at that
around?
point that DICK wasn't worth nothing. He
This
couldn't
is
even be a
very
hobo.
true.
That's the
This
sad
is
part.
very
for me.
true.
Yeah.
This is very true.
They don't want the mushroom. They don't want the fungus in their house.
He couldn't even be a hobo, child.
That's why
Well,
everyone
guess
left him
what?
alone.
With
Because
that
he
being
never
I
really
hate
peeps
it
the
for
girlfriend.
him. Hate it for him.
please,
And that's our
y'all,
time.
follow us on everything. Follow us on all of this shit. We love y'all so much. We appreciate y'all for coming through tonight. 700 of y'all in the room. Light the video up on y'all way out. Playback people, what's going on? We appreciate y'all for coming through as well. That is the conversation for tonight's Ooh Ladies First panel. We hope y'all enjoyed us because we enjoyed y'all, and we will see y'all next time. Peace out.